Right, evening all. I'm just going to give it a few minutes so I can get a few little bits and pieces sorted out. First of all, thanks for Chris having a nice long chat to me earlier. Chris, Northwest Coast Hunters, alias Spirit Encounters, had a nice little, probably about 2 or 3 hour chat with him just now on Facebook. Keep that out. So yeah, we was talking about technology, Costa stuff here. So I thought, you know what, that might be an idea to do a stream on. So I thought I'd do a stream on technology. Got it. No, that's the wrong one. So at the moment I'm just digging through my drawer looking for some bits and pieces. I'm not getting everything out. I'm just getting a few bits out to a stream on. I'm hoping to go out in the morning to another car booty and just have a look around if the thunder and lightning doesn't kick off and cause too much problems. So I'm just throwing it all on. Well, don't fall on the floor. I'm throwing it on the bed. You don't have to. Right. So last night I had done a doll session, and thanks for Angela. She saw some interesting things. I don't know if this one will work. So actually, that's the battery. It's going to work. I don't think this one works actually. No, it don't. I'll explain what that one is later. So, Sonic ear. Ow. Right, nearly with you. Nearly with you. You see, I've got a load of stuff on the bed. I don't want to get everything out, but I will grab some stuff. Right, okay, so yeah, thanks for Chris for his chat earlier on. Enjoyed that. He had to cut short after a couple of hours because his mobile phone battery went flat. Then he had like 5%. Right, so tonight, just going to talk about ghost hunting equipment if that interests you. I've got a lot of stuff out. I'm going to show you some of the stuff. I'll even explain what they do and what they don't do if I can think of it. And if it's in any form useful in the paranormal. A lot of stuff is kind of like useful. Some of it isn't. So where do I start? Right, let's start from, this is from Paranologies. This is a pyramid, and it's a sensor device. And what happens, you turn it on, like so, and it lights up. Now, anything that goes past that sensor, either side, lights it up, yeah? Now, I actually paid over, I think it was probably about 150, 160 pounds for this when they first came out, because it's kind of new to the paranormal. And I tell you, they do bloody work. But over time, I found out that you could probably build something like this for a very, very, very cheap price. Now, I did make them, and I did sell them a couple a few years ago, until I stopped selling stuff because the problems that people were causing me with the DWP and eBay and stuff like that. And I'm going to tell you some of the secrets on what they are, and I'll even show you, right, what kits they are, because I ain't going to be building them to sell. But if you're interested, I will give you information on what kits you need. I can only give you a few light hints, you know, because there is stuff there which I've got to kind of keep a little bit hush hush because it's my own little invention. But kits were involved, but no one else really bothered building them until last year, and they got flooded on eBay. I probably might have sold one to someone. Someone found out the kit and then started selling them, and someone else probably bought and made their own versions. And I'll go on to that one a little bit later. But this, as you just saw, I paid over £100 for this when it first came out, and I can't open it because, you know, I just repaired it and it's still not repaired properly. But it actually takes 4 AA batteries, I think they are, on each pack. So you're talking 8 batteries. I had some batteries here a minute ago. What do I do with the damn things? Yeah, well, anyway, they're similar to these ones. These are AAA, I believe. It's the next one up, AA's. So this actually takes 8 of these, right? And they're 1.5 volts each, I think. Or around that kind of like calculation. Yeah, these are AAA, so 8 AA batteries this takes. So it costs, you know, a fair bit of money running these. Well, over time, I eventually found out how to make my own particular version. And because, you know, Paranologies and other companies, you know, groups create their own kind of devices, you don't want to be giving it the same name. So I made one myself, and I called it Power Sensor. Now, Power Sensor, I've made a few different versions, being this one here, this one, and this one. I did make different versions. Well, Living Dead Paranormal had 2 from me, a basic one, which this is not a basic one. I'll explain what the basic one is. The basic one is just where you got the one switch, you got the LCD, you got the sensors on each side, all shoved in the box, an antenna, which you don't need. But the reason why this has got an antenna is because when I found out how to build them, I thought, wouldn't it be cool to add something else on it? So what I did, is I put in, although you can't see it, that is a static detector, more a negative, so you need like the negative static, not the positive static, the negative, to turn that off. And also, I don't know, you can see because the batteries are flat, but I also put like a little flashlight in it. So that's one I made myself. The basic one was just the screen, the box, and nothing else added to it apart from the sensors. I sent one of these to Living Dead Paranormal, and they used it on the asylum, and they had crazy activity on it. Crazy, man, crazy. Every time they put it down the hallway on the chair and asked what way they need to go, it kept going right. And I was actually looking for the exit to go to the cemetery, and it led them down several corridors into one room. And when I looked out the window, guess what was there? The cemetery. So they actually had one of those. Then they asked if I could build another one, which would activate a laser grid, which I didn't think would be possible. Now this is similar to the one I did make, but I can't find a laser grid. But this had a cable connected to the laser grid, and what happened was that when the sensors goes off, it actually activate a laser grid. Now the way I actually made their second one was for them to actually have the laser grid connected to it, or they can actually take the laser grid off and just use the laser grid itself, because it's actually in its own separate project box, and the laser was running under a 9-volt battery as well. Because when I first thought about it, I didn't make it so that the laser grid had its own separate power source. I'd done it so it was sharing the same power source of the actual power sensor, but as soon as it triggered, the laser went off. You know, it light up the laser grid, but it's very dim. You can barely see it. So I thought, well, if I do it so it's got its own power source, maybe that would work. And it actually did work, and they have used it in one of their episodes as well. Practically a lot of stuff I'm going to show you, Living Dead Paranormal has had off me. And, well, some of them I'm going to show you they've had off me. And no, they've had two of these anyway. One standard one and one with a laser grid. I can't show you it working with the laser grid because I don't know where the laser grid bit is. So this is similar to this. Now, as I say, this cost me about £150 plus when I first bought it. Then I started tinkering around, and I found, you know, I was buying little kits and whatnot, you know, kind of thing. And I was just like mucking around. I made this one here, and this one wasn't working for a while until I repaired it just about a week ago. Now this is the same kind of thing. Just that it's got a row, and it's very loud. So if you're wearing the headphones, I do apologise for that. It's very loud. It has flashing LEDs on top. If you actually have it on, it will go off like that constantly, bleeping most of the time, or some of the time. But as soon as the sensor's activated, so what that's doing, those 3 bleeps, is calibrating. And it'll keep calibrating until it's settled down. But if something goes up to it, then the motion will actually set it off constantly, and all the lights will light up like crazy. Now I thought, what else could I do? Now originally I had IR and UV lights. Now I could be bothered to look for my IR lights because the bulbs that were already in there had blown, so I had to replace the bulbs. So what I've done, I put these in, 2 big 10mm LEDs for flashlight and 2 UV lights. So you could actually run them both at the same time. Now Dave's actually got one of these as well. Hello Dave, I'll invite you on if you want to have a chat about ghost hunting gear later. So, you know, you can have these both running because they're both running off one 9-volt battery. You can even have the power sensor on as well because it's running off its own particular power bank. So that's another one I actually originally thought about making, which I did do. Now the kit, it's just a car reversing kit. That's it. Now there is a couple of things you need to do though. The buzzer that comes with the kit is completely shit. So I changed the buzzer over. You don't get the box, you have to buy the box, the switches. You're going to put like different things on it, like this one. That's a different kit. So it's like 2 kits in one here. Then you've got like 2 normal 10mm white LEDs as flashlight, and then 2 UV lights. So that's another one I made. Now you can actually get the kit if you want to build one. You can actually get the kit, and there are many different types of kits out there. Let me just find one. They do range from different prices. You know, I'm just picking one out as random. Oh, hang on, that's invite. So this is what you need. Now it comes in its own box, but you've got to take the thing out its box here. And I'll show you what is actually in that box in a minute because I've actually just found one. You get 4 sensors, but you don't really need 4. You know, you can put 4 on your own invention, your own creation if you want. And you get like the actual top LED as well. You can see right there. Now this one is a bit kind of weird because in one picture it shows you it's got a switch on top of here. All right. On that one it doesn't. But on here, on this picture, it shows you it's got a switch on top. So they actually like conflicting. What they've done is they've got pictures from different websites, I suppose, and made it look like, you know, that's what the kit's going to be. I've actually ordered these kits before, thinking it's got the switch, and it doesn't have the switch. So you're going to constantly get the sound all the time. You could actually add your own switch if you wanted to, so you can turn the sound off if it gets rather annoying. But you know, if you're in the dark location, I suppose, like, you know, having a switch to turn the sound on and off is a good idea, I suppose. Maybe it's up to you if you want the sound. You know, you can just have the lights as long as you're watching the LEDs flash. Inside that little box is one of these circuit boards, and you connect your power to that one, your LCD screen to this one, and your sensors go to these. You only get 4 sensors, so you can have all 1, 2, 3, or 4 sensors connected to your box, like I've done with this one. I've only just used 2 sensors on that one. Now this one does have a switch on the top, so you know, like the sensor's going off right now. You can see that there's no sound, but if I want to put the sound on, then I can have sound. Now someone has asked me, you know, if you haven't got the kit where you got the switch, would it be easy enough for you to put a switch on? Yeah, all you got to do is connect a cable to the buzzer, drill a hole in here, another hole on the box, so it's connected to a switch, and then you can turn the buzzer on and off whenever you want. So although I just showed you the kit, the box, the total amount it would probably cost to build one of these would probably be around about a £20–25 mark. Would you? Oh, hang on, my bloody other one's just falling apart again. Look, it's just falling apart again on me. That hot glue does not work properly. So if you wanted to build one, instead of paying 150 quid out, which they don't do these anymore, that I know of. So I've looked on eBay, and I've not seen one like this anymore. But instead of paying £150, if I'd known, I'd have rather spent out about £30 and built one. And I didn't know that until like several months later. So the kit between 10, 20, £30. Depends on what kit you buy. The box is around about £8. The antenna, you can get an antenna from Poundland for £1. So that's let's say your kit's £15, yeah, because I think that's how much I used to pay for my kits. 15, 23, say about 24, £25. You can actually build your own one. And that's it. Easy. No, I think I've got a video up on my ITC channel of me building one. If it ain't there and you want to know how to build it, I can probably build another one if I've got the components and show you how to build it. But I've got, you know, a few of these different versions. I think I've got another one over there somewhere, but I'm not sure. But they are pretty good for ghost hunting. Dave's got one, Living Dead Paranormal's got one, and I have sold a couple to other people, and they do work quite well, because you can see when something goes past, it's actually casting a shadow. It's like when your car is reversing, the car is reversing and being, it's like a reflection in one way. You know, like if you're parking and you're reversing against the wall, I suppose the wall is casting a shadow or some kind of like light, and it's it's actually activating the sensor. It's setting the sensor off to let you know that, you know, it's picking up something. These been sold on eBay, the kits, you know, for years. First one I ever bought and made myself was like 4 years, and they're still on eBay. So they are quite, there are thousands on eBay, put it that way, the kits. And they say you can pay anything between 15 to 20, £25. If you want the one with the switch, then they do work out, you know, a little bit more. But the prices seem to fluctuate up and down. Next, I'm going to do EMF meters, I think. Right, so I'm not going to be able to tell you the prices on them, but I'm going to give you a rough estimate of the prices. This one here is an EMF detector, and I have used this a couple of times, and I have had some kind of reaction to it. The alarm has gone off. With this one, originally, I wouldn't get nothing from it at all. Rose had one, and her one was going off crazy all the time. LED was going crazy after time as well. So she must have having a lot of bloody activity there. And Rose does have a lot of activity in her place. So I'm thinking, well, you know, why is mine not going off? But, you know, it depends on the activity you're getting, you know, the energy, I suppose, that's flowing around your flat or your home or wherever you live. If the spirits are able to manipulate that, they will do. You can get these for about £15, £20. They ain't bad. You've got like hold, so you can hold the actual setting. I've not really gone through it, to be honest with you. You know, I ain't even gone through the actual instructions. I just bought it and turned it on and hope for the best. But people do use these for ghost hunting. I think Dave might have one as well, I'm not sure. So this is an EMF detector, I believe. What did I do with my magnifying glass things? Yes, my eyes are really getting bad. Yeah, it's a unit, electric field, magnetic field, UT. So it's an actual electronic field measurer or detector. A bit like this one, the gas meter. So I've got a high EMF around me somewhere. That's weird. Alright, let me just unplug my soldering iron, although it's not on. I You know, I've got a lot of EMF floating around. I don't know why it's going crazy, but that is going crazy. These are good EMF detectors. I've seen various ghost hunting groups use them. So I'm not even pushing the button in and it's still going off. I normally have the button pushed in some of the times because it helps, but even with it out, not pushed in, it still goes off sometimes. They can be a bit iffy, you know. You shake it around a little bit, you know, you can hear it going off. But I think I paid about £25 for that one, and I have had some pretty interesting results on that one, to be honest with you. But I can't prove that, you know, it was paranormal. You know, the Gulfs meter can pick up all kinds of like EMF, I suppose, just like that one. So that's 2 EMF devices. So that's around about £25–30, and that's between 15 and 20, I think it is, something like that. Another EMF detector is the Tri-Field Meter. I originally paid £145, £150 for this, and they were getting scarce to buy. So I thought, look, you know, check my bank account. I had a little bit of money saved up, so I bought 2 of these, and I still got 2. I won't sell the other one because I do like to use them in different rooms sometimes. It's a Tri-Field natural EMF meter. It picks up, well, it says battery test. It tests your battery power, and it'll give you a readout on the strength of your battery. It picks up magnetic field. It picks up some is, I think, electric and magnetic both together on one setting. Could be wrong, but it does pick up electric magnetic fields. And it also picks up radio microwave. Now, a lot of people do use these. I've seen some of the most, you know, ghost hunting groups like Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Most Haunted, and God knows who else use these on their TV shows, and they all do seem to get some kind of like activity from them. I've actually had activity on these myself, so I've got 2 of these ones. I won't sell them because they are good like little meters. I did have 2 of these, but I sold my other one because I needed the money at the time. Now you can actually get replacements of these, but they are shipped from America because I broke my antenna. And I gave that to the one who bought my last one of these, the new one. But you can actually get probes, would you believe? So, you know, instead of like sticking around out like that all the time, you can actually still have that in your hand and use a probe. Now, I can't test some of these out because I just don't have the batteries for them, and I don't want to keep like pouring batteries in and out. These originally was around about £120, and I've got 2 of these ones. It does have an LED on the top, which is like a temperature probe, I suppose. That's what it says there. It's a sensor temperature probe. I think the LED just might be a flashlight. Can't remember. It's got backlit. I've got another one similar to this, but the black one, black EMF device with a REM pod built into it, but the antenna broke. So, you know, I tried taking it apart, and it's so much glue in it, it'd take forever to get the glue out just to replace it. So what I did do, I got another antenna and just shoved it on top. It works, makes it a little bit more sensitive that way, but you know, they are good like, you know, ghost hunting EMF devices. I've had this one for about 4 years or so. And so I did have another one, but I got rid of it. So those do originally go for about £120–130. The black one with the REM pod in, there's various makes, different models, and they go from 180 up to like £300. So if you've got the money, you can buy one. It's up to you. So that's that one. Yeah, so like that's my other one of these. So that's 3 different models, 3 different versions, plus the Paralogy one. So that's 4. So stick them over there. This is another EMF device which I've got, electromagnetic radiation detector. A lot of people were buying these and saying they were good. I didn't think much on them, to be honest with you. I thought, you know, this done better than that one did. Again, the battery's flat, I've lost the back, but it does work. You can walk around and, you know, it picks up a lot of power stuff like, you know, your lights, your electricity plugs and stuff like that. So it can be manipulated. You know, it can be manipulated by spirits as well if they're giving off the right form of energy. It set it off. You can get these for about £15–20 on Amazon or eBay as well. So, you know, you ain't got a lot of money to start off with. You can buy some cheap stuff. That's what I done when I first started off. The first thing I bought was a camera. I was using my Nokia E5 for a ghost EVP recorder. So camera, EVP recorder, and what was that? EVP recorder, a camera, a digital camera, and flashlight, and a few other little bits I was using. You know, I started off really kind of like low basic, which most people do when they first start out because they ain't got the money to buy any of the equipment. But if you've got the money, you can go out and buy, you know, tons of stuff, you know, stuff which is like £200–300, which we was talking about earlier. Me and Chris, you know, some of the gear, they've actually now bought out a music box paranormal device. And what it does, by the sounds of things, if a spirit was to interact with it through a sensor, and I've got one of those sensors here somewhere. It's connected to a sensor, right? A little board like this, which you can pick up for £5. Somehow they connected one of these to a motor. The motor's connected to a pulley, and the pulley's connected to a music box device. And as soon as that sets it off the pulley, and then it plays a music box. £200. If I knew how to buy it, if I knew how to build it, it'd probably cost you about 30–40 quid to build, if that. You know, some of the things are so expensive nowadays. I mean, really expensive. So, you know, it's always like worth looking around for second-hand stuff because people do sell their ghost hunting gear if they get fed up with ghost hunting. People bring out new devices, but usually it's because it's new and no one knows about it. They put the price up to, you know, a very high price, and if people are stupid enough to go and buy them, then that's up to them. Another device is my DC box. Now, I don't know what I've done with my REM pod. I have got a REM pod somewhere. It's over here. Right, so that's a REM pod. I paid £150 for this one when it first came out because it's new to the paranormal field, I suppose. And, you know, big companies like ripping people off. So my antenna broke and I had to replace it by sticking another antenna on because I can't open that. I don't know how to open it. It's got like a screw base on, but I just could not open it. So I just stuck one on. Now, it still works. You know, the battery ain't brilliant on it, but, you know, it still works. And with the antenna completely up, it does make it a little bit more sensitive. Now, when I was building the power sensors, some guy saw my video and said, look, I'm interested in one of those, but I live in Australia. If I'd done you a kind of a deal, more like an exchange, would you be interested? And I said, well, what kind of exchange? He goes, information exchange. If you give me the idea on how to build these for myself and my group, I will tell you how to make a portable REM pod, which I call a DC box. This does exactly the same as this. I used to build these and knock them out for about 45 quid each, but I only sold a few because I didn't know, because as I said, I had problems with people on YouTube and trying to get my eBay closed down and reporting me and all that kind of crap, you know. But this does the same thing as that. It's just that it's smaller and portable. You can build one of these for around about 35 to 40 pounds. So when I was building them, I wasn't really making nothing on them because I was trying to help the paranormal unity out. I can't say how many I built because I can't remember, probably about a dozen or so. And any kind of profit went on. Any profit I made out of these went on to buy more kits to build more, or help to pay my bills. Because I'm going to tell you something towards the end of the stream about building and selling stuff, yeah, which people don't bloody well understand. So with these, you know, small, compatible. The kit itself, you can buy for about £20, all right? But then you've got to buy the box, the switch, the antenna. Now the box, you know, about £7, £8. Price of the project boxes have gone up. The switch, you can buy a packet of 10 for a couple of quid on eBay. The antenna, you can buy the Poundland shop, you know, TV aerial with 2 antennas on it, yeah? So you get 2 aerials for £1, so 50p each, right? So you're talking about, say around about 30 quid, max. But then, as I'll tell you a little bit more about the cost of these, right? Not just these, but any gear that you build, which people don't understand. So when people say, oh, it only cost them £30, but it's selling for £50, they don't realise what else is being involved in the cost. So I made these, probably one of the first people to make them, apart from the guy in Australia. And when I stopped selling on eBay, they suddenly got flooded all over eBay. You know, people were doing them for about 50, 60, 70 pounds. I've seen people selling them for 80 pounds. And there is a guy on eBay that's got them in a kind of a different box with an antenna you can actually detect. And, you know, yeah, it's one of those ones you can take off, you know, so you don't break it and bend it and things like that. And he's doing these for around about £55. And, you know, it's a different kind of like model he's done, but it runs, you know, it's practically the same as this one is, yeah. But you can actually make these for about 45 quid. So would you prefer make one yourself, which is piss easy, or pay £150 for one of these? Now, they got these on eBay similar for £75, £79. But one of you guys on here, they said they bought one and it's shit. It's, you know, he has put his hand right on top of the antenna to set the damn thing off. They're not sensitive. He's asked me, is there any way you can actually make them sensitive? I don't know. So I can't get inside. You know, I don't have one of the £79 ones. I've only had this one. And I can't even get inside this one to find out what it is. It's probably the same kind of thing that I've got in here, which is, I think I've got one in this cupboard somewhere. It's one of these little kits. Junior Thermo, I think it's called. Now, I don't know the price of them now, but they used to be around about £20-25. They might have gone down, they might have gone up, I don't know. Because I still got some of the boards anyway. Now, with the kit, you get the same LEDs, you know, like green or red LEDs. So what I done is I bought different colour LEDs, like, you know, the red, blue, white, green, purple, and that kind of stuff, yeah. The buzzer on them was really shit, so I invested in some new buzzers. Now this one ain't going to work, I don't think, because the power lead's broken off and I don't have any more spare batteries. But what you do, you get the box. When I do that one, you get a box, you drill your holes in, you insert that in the box like so. There's a bit up there for an antenna, so you connect a wire to an antenna, drill a hole in so an antenna can come out, and what you do then, you put a switch on that connects there, and the easy way to do that is to cut your power lead in half, you know, so you've got two in one way, and you just kind of like solder that to the middle pin and that to either the left or right pin, connect it all up, and you've got yourself a REM pod. I think I've got a video on my ITC channel, so you can check it out. So REM pods are pretty good to use. You know, you don't have to go out and spend a huge amount of money like some people do. When I first bought these, well, not when I first bought them, when I first made these, I made two of them. And I wasn't getting nothing out of it whatsoever. I was getting stuff off the REM pod, but I wasn't getting nothing off here. And I did a video on it. And Dave, like, you know, Dorius lives. Dave, he goes, oh, that was interesting, Steve. I'll have one off you. I said, look, Dave, I can't guarantee they work, because I'm not getting nothing off it. So I said, well, that's the point, Steve. We buy technology to see if they will interact with it and set off the devices. You know, we don't buy stuff and test them. We don't know. So he actually had one off me, and the day he got it, he went out on an investigation. Now, I had these for 2 or 3 weeks, and I wasn't getting nothing. I know I'd only built two, originally built two. The day he got his, he went out in an investigation, and within half an hour, his one was going ballistic. And I thought, how the fuck is he getting his one going off and mine ain't going off? Even the one he's got, it wasn't going off. And he said, well, did you explain to the spirits how to operate it? I thought, good point. No, I didn't. With any device you get, you've got to explain to the spirits how to use it, how to interact with it, how to set it off. Always be honest up front and say, look, I can't guarantee it's going to harm you, but it's not harming us. You know, it's generating an EMF field. You know, we believe that you spirits generate an EMF. So if you were to just come near to it and manipulate the EMF and break the EMF field, the barrier that it's generating, it's going to set it off, and that's a good way of communicating with us. As soon as I'd done that, that night when I explained to it, it would not stop going off. I got so fed up with it kept going off, I had to turn it off. It's doing my head in. So that is a bloody good advice. As I say, it is similar to a REM pod. So would you prefer to pay £150 or build one for a quarter price? So I built several different types. I've got one here, which is a dual box one. Where I put it, yeah, dual box one. And it's not going to work because the batteries are flat. Oh, hang on, it did work. There we go. No, the battery won't go back in. The battery is really dead. So the good thing about this one here is that you can have the antennas out like so. right? And you can say, right, spirits, if you're male, touch the left antenna and set that device off. If you're female, set the right antenna off, touch the right side of the antenna and it light up. So if I'm not saying they're going to do it all the time, but you could ask that kind of question. And if that one goes off, it's because my arm's in the way. No, if it sets off that one, it will probably interfere with that one as well. But if it lights up this one more than that one does, then it's probably a response saying it's female. Or if it's like that side. But because it's, generating the EMF field around it, it's probably like doubling the width. So even if one interaction with it, it could set them both off. So it's kind of going to be a hit and miss if it's going to give you the direct answer. You could say light up twice if you're male. And then it goes 1, 2, and male, 1 female, 1 female. And you could do yes and no questions with it. So that's a dual box one I made. Now I actually other EMF devices are the K2 meters. K2 meters aren't always, well, some people have a lot of doubts about the K2 meters. They can be easily manipulated, I suppose. All forms of energy could probably set them off, even a light switch. I've turned a light switch on before with a different kind of bulb on, and it set the K2 meter off for a few seconds. There are different versions of the K2 meters. On eBay at the moment, you can get these for about £25. But the original ones were a lot more harder to go off, to be manipulated. Used to be about £50–60. But now the Chinese are copying them, and the whole of eBay is flooded with them for like £26. So they can be easily manipulated. I found that the kind of silvery ones are a little bit more harder, because I've had these next to each other before, and that one's been going off and that one's hardly gone off at all. But sometimes this one will go off and that one won't. So it depends. Maybe the spirits might only like the black one, not the grey one, or they might like the grey one, not the black one. Or maybe that one's more sensitive than that one is, or that one might be more sensitive than that one is. You just don't know. I do like the K2 meters. I had it up on the table with one of the dolls last night, and Angela done a timestamp on some of the video, and K2 meter was going off quite a lot. Even the DC box was going off on a few occasions. So thank you for the timestamps on that video, Angela. So EMF devices, there's many different types of EMF devices out there. Some I don't have, some I'd like to get, but they're just too expensive. So this may look like a DC box, but it's not. And again, the batteries are flat, and you wouldn't be able to tell if this is turned on or not anyway. So I need my plasma ball. This is an ion detector, and what it does, it actually detects ion energy. Ion comes from thunderstorms, that kind of energy. Even light bulbs, it's more like I suppose some people say it's a negative form of energy. I thought light bulbs were positive, I don't know, but if this was working, I could put it up to the light and it'll probably light up. And it's got a buzzer on there, so I know that if I wasn't even looking at the LEDs, it set the buzzer off. It's got just a normal on and off button LED on, so I know it's turned on. But as I say, the battery ain't working on it, so And I also built just a normal little flashlight, I suppose, so I walk around with a flashlight. So the ion detector is for like the energy that is created by thunderstorms or similar kind of energy that thunderstorms generate. Now, as I say, I've done it with LED lights, you know, the ones that change colour, set it off. Plasma ball, that sets it off. So that kind of energy, you know, I'm not even sure what a plasma ball energy is generated, you know, if it's positive or negative, but thunderstorms is negative energy apparently. So if a thunderstorm sets that off, then it's a negative energy. Next, the DC box again is this one here, another one I made, but with bigger LEDs, 10 mils. These ones are just standard like 3mm ones, but it's around about the same type of size LED as this one is. Now, I did have two of these, but the other one did not have the extra feature. This is a static detector, a positive static detector. So positive static energy would set that off. Now, I ain't got a spare battery, and I'm not going to dig them out of other devices, as I say, because I can't be asked. But when a static charge comes to the antenna, it lights that up, which is a green LED, although it looks like white, but it's not, it's a green LED. And it sounds a little alarm as well, like a little buzzer inside. Michael had one of these, but without the static detector in. And, you know, he's been using it and he said it's a really good one. So that's another DC box, but in a different box. Still running the 9-volt battery, and it's just got that little extra feature. You know, I could put other stuff in there as well. Like if I wanted to, I could add a flashlight. I could use a UV light, black light, and just use it for carrying around, you know. A bit like my multi-box, which I'm going to show you next. This is one I've just recently built. There is 3 batteries in here. One of them is a bit flat, actually. There's the flashlight. This is the touch sensor. I'm going to say the battery is getting really low in here. Now, the touch sensor is actually connected to these LEDs, which is the same device I just showed you, the ion detector. One of these. Now, the ion detector, I was able to find a way of connecting a touchpad and making it into a 2-in-1 device, an ion detector and a touchpad, touch sensor. So that's the ion detector and touch sensor. The flashlight. Put a ghost box in it, little ghost box. Now I've actually put a jack plug in here so I can connect it up to external speaker because it's not that loud. Although I put a load of holes in there, which is a bit messy, but ghost box works on it okay. On this side, DC box, which I've put in now. And also I've put in a SAF box. The SAF box is a sound, air and vibration. It's a device that I created myself, and no one else has got them out there, and I only got rid of a couple. Michael got one for making a donation to my channel, so thank you for that, Michael. And that helped to pay towards my StreamYard, which was the first time I had to pay for it. Still had to pay for StreamYard for the last 2 months, this month and last month, out of my own pocket, but that's the way things go. The SAF box, as I say, picks up sound, 1, 2, 3, sound. If it's on a solid surface, like, you know, it will pick up vibration if there's any vibration around it. And also, with the SAF box, as I said, sound, air, vibration. If a cold breeze gets blown into it, it sets it off. Because what it is, the air is being blown into a microphone. So it's got a microphone that detects all 3: sound, air, vibration. So that's my multi-box. And people have asked me if I build some more of these for me to sell. I said no, because it's too much time consuming. The amount of things I put in here and blew up and destroyed was like a joke. So no, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm not buying one again. What do you mean, like the REM pods? Because I know you bought a REM pod and you said you wouldn't buy one of those again. Bloody awful things, them £79 ones. So that's the multi-box, which I built myself. If I had to put a price on the multi-box, the amount of things I put in there, because the SAF box I used to do for about 30 quid, yeah. So I don't really sell much of my gear now anyway. I try to build them for myself, and I might give a few bits and pieces away. You know, give a couple away to people to test out. Like Dave had sent up to him a touch sensor box. You know, it's similar to it's like the iron detector box, but it had a plate on the front. I don't know if he's used it yet. It's a 2-in-1 device, I say. I sent him one up to test out, to keep. He said he was going to take out an investigation, but I don't know if he's done that yet. But it'll be interesting to find out if he gets any responses from it. The other one is not the multi-box, but it's a ghost box that I built myself with a little bit of help with Steve Cooper by putting this sweet box in. You've seen this and heard this many times, so I don't need to be playing it. It's got a DC box there as well. As I say, batteries are low, no batteries in it. The DC box goes off just like that one does, or that one. I just installed it in the same box. It's got a ghost box in there with the sweep, the volume and the tune. It didn't originally have a hiss on it, but I copied the way Steve Cooper did in one of my other boxes, which I'll show you in a minute. And I also had to put a hiss on it. So when the ghost box was running, instead of having all that horrible white noise and static, I could turn that off and just hopefully hear clear stations. So this one I built myself, and no, none of this is for sale, so don't ask. This is the one that Steve built me, and you know, I gave him the idea of putting the DC box in, which he done. He used smaller LEDs because of the, you know, there wasn't enough room in there because of the ghost box takes up more. Because you know, you've got your ghost box in there, you've got your sweep, and you've got to put your buttons on. You've got, you know, the good thing about these ones that Steve done, they're not just like normal switches where you just get it and turn it on like that. The reason he done these, because he did not want his children or any children from any family where, you know, the family was doing paranormal activity, you know, investigations. He did not want children getting hold of the ghost boxes in case it brought something through the ghost box. So he put locks on them, key locks, and I'm always losing my key locks. But I do have one up there. Now the problem with these ghost boxes though it takes about 20 seconds for it to start scanning. So you need to find a good strong signal first. Now I have found a signal, but I'm waiting for it to start scanning, which is now doing. Now you can hear that static white noise with this switch. Cuts it all out. Ghost box still running. So, and that's what I've done with my other ones. I copied the way he done it. My crystal box, the Steve Box 14, I've done that as well. I've also done on the other two Coop boxes. Well, my box and the Moppy box and this box. I bought an audio cable out so I can plug it into the amps and have it run off the amps, just like the Coop Box 14. But yeah, he done that because he was, I suppose, like concerned and afraid that kids might get hold of these boxes and start, you know, trying to communicate spirits and don't know what they're doing, and it could bring some form of negative energy and start causing problems to kids. So that's the Coop Box 16. The 14's over there. That's the white one that you see me use quite a lot. So ghost boxes. Right. I've just recently got this one. Trying to hack that. I can't find a way of hacking that. I had a what is it called? A John Lewis radio, which I took apart. And I found the mute on it, and I was just about going to cut the mute, and my hand slipped, and it pulled the whole goddamn ribbon off. And I was going to start soldering the ribbon back on, but the soldering on was so hot, it was burning away the circuit board, so I completely screwed up a radio today. So I reckon that might have been Hackle actually, but I don't know, because I wasn't able to find out. So let's put this back up there so I won't lose that key. So ghost boxes are good ways of communicating spirits. We can't prove that it's spirits communicating with us. You know, even though we get a direct response, I suppose, on some of the questions we ask, we can't still prove it's spirits communicating with us. No, but what is the chance that you say, ask a question and you get a direct response to that question, which you know is truthful? And by law, radio stations ain't allowed to swear on any radio frequency. But ain't it strange that when we get a negative spirit, it tells us to F off, P off, call us, you know, the C word and whatnot. You know, that is like, you know, unbelievable, because if a radio station was broadcasting that kind of language, they'd be closed down by the FCC, I'm telling you. This one is one of the little SAF boxes, but it's not working, so I've got to take that apart and find out what's wrong with that. I'm going to be building a couple of these, and I'm actually going to give them to two people. I'm not going to say who, but there's two people who I'll be sending these up to at a later date. I'm just waiting for some of them little boxes. I think I've still got some of the little kits that I need to build, but I'll have to check. Another EMF device is this one. It's just like a portable door alarm you hang on your door. I saw some guy, well, I saw these on eBay at 30 quid each. I thought, fucking hell, you know, it's a bit expensive. And I've done a YouTube search and I saw a guy showing you where you can buy these. These are about £8 to £10 each, the actual alarms system. And all you got to do is draw a hole, put an LED in, connect an antenna, then you've got your own little EMF detector. And my hand is about a foot and a half away. So I built two of these for myself. People have asked me, would I build them one? But sadly I said no, because I just don't have to. Well, it's not so much the time, I just can't be asked, because they can be a little bit of a problem to build sometimes, you know. EM pumps. Oh, that one started working then. But there is something loose in it. One of the EM pumps I built was this one. And what I've done, I put a flashlight in. And then a little laser grid. And you can hear the motor spinning now. Now, if I get a K2 meter, what that is doing, that is generating its own EMF field. And all what's inside there, apart from the battery, the cable's connected to the little laser grid and the flashlight, is a motor, right? And on one side of the motor, you've got your two terminals for plus and minus to connect to a battery. And then from the battery, you connect the positive to a switch, the negative, you cut the cable from the switch you got to the battery, and from the other side of the switch, it goes to the actual motor, and then the negative goes from the battery to the motor itself. All right. Now, it's just not a normal. You can use any kind of motor. I used to pull out motors from the DVD drive. You know, I used to buy old DVDs off eBay and just strip the motors out and chuck the rest. But you don't just need a motor. You need a plastic connector connected to the motor, and you need a magnet. So what you do, you connect that to the motor bit where it's spinning around, and when it's spinning the magnet constantly, and that magnet is the magnet is actually generating its own magnetic field. And what happens is that when it's spinning around and generating its own electromagnetic energy, hearsay is that spirits thrive off that energy. But spirits thrive off all kind of energy, you know, our energy, electric lights, power, torchlight, batteries, whatever. But this is actually generating its own EMF, electromagnetic field, and spirits can use that instead of like keep draining all your batteries. So that's one of my other EM pumps I used to build. Then I made this one. I don't know what another battery. Oh, this is another EMF pump which I built. Which is not working. So I've got to repair this one. But what I've done, I put like a little thermometer inside it. So when you're in location, you can actually tell what the actual temperature is. Because when the spirit is actually trying to manipulate and grab that energy, it can lower the temperature. So what I want you to do, I'll try to do a backlight on here, but it won't work. But there are little temperature things like this which do have backlights. And what I wanted to do is have it so it's actually like turned on, spinning and generating its electromagnetic energy. And you could see if the temperature is rising or lowering. But I never got it to work where I could have a backlight on it. And I've not really done any kind of like search on eBay for a temperature gauge where it does have a backlight. And the only thing is with these, you've got to take this apart to change the battery over. when the temperature monitor runs out of energy. You can't actually, I don't think there's a way of connecting the temperature onto your external battery without doing a lot of modification, and I don't like doing a lot of modifications on it. Hello again, Angela. So that's one EMF detector. I have had some of these ones before. One of them completely broke on me, and I couldn't be bothered to fix it, so I threw it away, which I never did. It completely snapped across the ear. So what this one is, I'm working on this one, where I said about the actual motor, that is a motor from a CD drive, and they normally have these like little plastic bits on which you need so you can glue the actual magnet to it. This is the controller board to turn the motor up and down, speed up and down. That's the on-off switch. And this is the temperature, the new temperature gauge, which I had in one before. And it's also got like an antenna, so you can actually just like, you know, if you feel like a cold spot in front of you, you can just like stick the antenna in front and see if the actual temperature fluctuates. Now this one is in work in progress. Who is it? I had one where it had the old kind of like, what are they called? The old kind of like analog meters. And John, Legacy Paranormal, had that one. And he did show it on one or two of his videos. He showed it on one of his videos a couple of months ago. And John goes, if I'd known you had them, I would have had one, because he likes the old analog. But Dave had one similar to this with an LDC screen, I believe. Living Dead Paranormal's got one, and they used it on the Willow Farm episode. So check out Living Dead Paranormal, watch the Willow Farm, I think it's called, and they had one of these up in the bedroom, and it also had like a built-in flashlight, so that it was on the bed and it's generating. You can hear it like spinning and generating, because they were hearing noise upstairs as I was doing the last interview, and it's just one of the brothers in there, the other two was outside sleeping in the car. And where he was hearing noises upstairs, he went up and he got hold of my device, and it comes up made by Southwest Coast, because I used to like credit some of my stuff that I made them. And he's walking into the lecture room with the EM pump, and he explains that, you know, there is a light flare which was caused by the flashlight, which was a good idea, because you know, some of the rooms can be bloody dark, and that's where you need a flashlight. Instead of carrying like, you know, portable, you know, pocket ones, I always had a flashlight in some of the gear I made. To build one of these, you know, you're talking about the box alone was about 12 quid. The motors, let's say I pull out DVDs, you know, buy the DVD drive for a couple of quid, rip out the motor. These controllers were about 3-4 quid each. The LCD was about 4 quid each. The controllers didn't come with the switch that you plug onto the controllers mechanism, so I had to buy those in packets. And then you got to buy these 9-volt battery connectors. Then I had to buy these, which were like kind of cable ties, and I found one which fitted the motor just right, because you couldn't really just hot glue. You could hot glue the motor on, but eventually, you know, it would work itself loose. So I bought these, and it's got like a sticky substance on, so when you do it, even they will come apart eventually. But you can stick it on like that, or you could use Velcro. So I made a couple of these, you know, a couple of prototype ones, you know, with the LCD. The one which John, Nexus Paranormal, that's more of a prototype with the old multimeter kind of thing, bit like one of these kind of meters. So he's only got like one out of like a couple I ever made. I don't even know where my other one is. Probably got lost, thrown away. I don't know. So this is one I'm in the process of trying to build, but I'm having problems trying to get the LDC screen to light up. And when I do light it up, when I'm turning the controller button, it's not actually controlling the LDC numbers. The numbers are still the same when it shouldn't be. So why, I don't know. So that's one in progress at the moment. Once I've got it working, it'll be cool. I'll show you it working. This is one that Ian Pumps I first originally bought off eBay. Can't remember what group I bought it from. But again, it did pack up on me. And I tried repairing it. I thought it might just be the battery, which it normally is. The connector broke because it was a small, you know, it's so hard to get a new battery in. So I cut the old bit off on these and put a new one on, connect one. I don't know if it's going to even work. So some of the stuff that I did buy don't really work. But it's so loud, very, very loud, and you couldn't really work with that. Now, why it's that loud, I don't know. That's how they made them and sold them. I thought, well, how can you work with something like that? You know, that's going to give you too much interference, you know, especially on your paranormal investigation. You don't want something that loud and noisy, do you, really? But what can you do? So when I got that, I thought there's got to be some way of like quieting it down. So I opened it up and I found out it was just like a motor and a magnet. And when I was doing some research on eBay, I saw the stepper motor where you can turn, you know, motors up and down, control them. And that's when I started building my own ones with a controller and LCD. So a lot of the stuff was my own ideas, you know, kind of thing. Right, this is a sonic ear. What it is a listening device. I've actually lost the battery component and the fluffy bit that goes on top. Yeah. Multitask. I like the multitasking. I thought you said something else then. I have used this in the past. What I'd done was I had a connector and I connected it into like an audio recorder, walking around doing EVP, and I was able to pick up more background noises with this than you would with a normal audio recorder. That's why it's called a sonic ear, you know, because it picks up more of the background a lot better than the normal audio recorder would use. So I could connect that to that and walk around quietly, and whatever they're picking up would be recorded on here. And you know, you just don't know what you could pick up with one of these. This one is just a normal audio recorder. I saw them on Amazon. I thought, oh, I'll get one of those. They look interesting. But although it's an audio recorder, it actually does video. I think this one. No, sorry, not this one. I've got another one similar to this, and you can actually walk around doing a video on an audio recorder. I think it's in the drawer somewhere. I'll have to dig it out one night and test it out again. But you can actually walk around with the other one and do videos on it, as well as like EVP. And it also acts as like a normal photo as well, like a camera. So I want to find that one. But this one, you can use a normal battery, which I want to take out because it looks like the battery's getting a bit worn on that one, and I don't want it leaking out and destroying it, because this actually cost me about 50 quid, if I remember it rightly. But you can have a rechargeable battery in there and recharge the battery up, but it's also got a USB port on it. So instead of having, like, you know, one of those horrible USB cables, which it does have, it's got a USB card slot to put a USB card in. And instead of like keep taking the card out and damaging the card, you actually put it in a computer and download the audio onto your computer straight away without having cables. You've got like your external headphones, and you can actually put in a external microphone as well. So I'm not sure what one's what, but you could have like an external microphone, and then like a speaker, do your recording, walking around doing your recording, and when you stop it, you stop it and do a playback, and it comes through an external speaker. Because some of the microphone speakers on some of these audio recorders ain't that brilliant, so it's always used, you know, worth having an external speaker when you're doing it. Yeah, I know, they are bloody expensive, those 4K camcorders. No, years ago, before we had these recorders, you remember? And I've not even tried these. I've got these I've got these from Car Boot Fair. One of them from Car Boot Fair. Another one from eBay. Remember these old cassettes? It takes tapes. These little tapes. These were really good in the days, and I've still not used them. Don't know why, but I've still not used them. I think it's because I like my Nokia E5 mobile phone. That's always picking up really good stuff. So here's another recorder that is pretty good. I've got that from Tandy. That cost me £45. It's good, but there is another one, a whiter version, a bigger brother one, which is even more better. But I don't know what I've done with some of them. I think they might be in my box over the back there. So, you know, there's so many different type audio recorders. You just don't know what one to buy some of the times. Like this one here is a bidirectional one, which I said wrong. There's a H2N audio camera, and it picks up audio 360. I have used it, and what it does is when it's actually recording in mode 2, I think it is, it actually says that EVP has 2 different files, and I have noticed that those 2 files can pick up 2 different kind of EVPs at the same time, which is kind of really weird. But I have had she had EVPs where I've had this recording, and on one EVP it's saying one thing, then on second EVP it's saying completely a different thing. And sometimes it's saying the same thing on both actual recordings. But this does actually save the file. Once you've got it in the settings you want it, you know, you've got your USB port up there. Can't remember what batteries it takes. I can't even remember how to open the batteries. But this originally, I got this from a second-hand store. Actually, I paid £125 for that originally. It didn't come with its like little cover to stop the wind. That alone was like 12 quid. But you know, they got several different kind of Zoom recorders. I have got another Zoom recorder which you see me using on my paranormal stream sometimes during the night time. I think that's over there. So I tried running that when I was doing live streams with the audio, but it wouldn't connect properly. Not sure what I've done with it. But I've got to find it one night because I need it for when I start doing live streams after I've done my what's the name? Oh, here's that other version I made, which I made similar for Dave, the ion detector touch sensor. And when you know, if you're not, you know, I've done it so that if spirits are able to like knock on doors, wall, you know, open and shut things, you know, they must have energy to touch a bloody like touch pad. So that's why I made it as a touch sensor. No one's made these before apart from me. And the iron detectors, I've not even seen anyone make an iron detector that I know of. Not like the way I've built it anyway. So when it's dark, you know, let's say when you get like thunder and lightning, if you hold that up with the antenna, it should set it off. Again, in with a plasma ball, it might actually start the sensor going off with a plasma. Well, it does actually. It sets the device off with the plasma ball. There we go. Guys, can you take care of that for me in a minute? So Dave had one. I sent one of these out to Dave to test out for me, see if he gets any response. That other one I was just showing you, the what I was doing it, the Sonic Ear, which I'm gonna put down. Can't find now. Oh, it is. That comes with its own kind of cover like that. Hello, Drama Llama. No drama on it, please. Thank you very much. If you're coming on here, please respect the channel. That's all I ask. I've had enough of hate and drama. So yeah, EM pumps we've covered. None of this is for sale. It's only my own collection. I'm not really building stuff to sell at the moment. Yeah, I could if I want to. Not breaking any laws or anything. As long as I'm not making hundreds and thousands of pounds like I've been accused of making on the video that's still out there. I'm covered. So if I want to make a couple, I can. But I'm not in a mood to do too many things at the moment. The only thing I'm going to do is make a couple of these and give them to a couple of people that I've promised to. And that is it. And that's the staff box. I've got to put all this back in there. Time with it. I've also got to keep an eye on the time in case I do go out tomorrow. Yeah, I know what you've been up to, Drama Llama, with a certain person. God, you're still going on about him. Bloody hell. I thought everyone left that guy alone. Still, I'm not getting involved. I've said my point of view on it. which I later took down. So what else next? This is a digital sound level, which I found might be interesting to some people. I'm not sure how much I paid for this one actually. I can't really remember. Most of my gear takes 9-volt batteries. I'm practically at 9-volt batteries, and I've got to buy some more for me. Amazon, I suppose. The industrial ones, because they are longer. Do not go to Poundland and buy 2 of these for £1. Or a packet of these, or a packet of AA ones, because they don't last too long. I've had one of them in like a DC box, and it only lasted like an hour. These batteries are completely crap. But this is a audio level, so if you are hearing noises in a location, you know, it ain't you or anyone else, you can actually get the level and decibel of what the noise is actually doing at the time. But as I say, I don't think I've got another battery I can use. Because most of my batteries are dead. No, don't want to work. Don't want to work. But yeah, it gives you, like, you know, the readout of the decibel and the loudness of the sound. I've not seen really any people use these actually. No idea to what you're referring about. Okay, fair enough. Say no more. Some of these stuff I've got from the pigs.uk. This is a electronic voice detection. And what it does when you turn it on is like that, they all take 9-volt batteries, and all the 9 volts I've got are dead. What you do, you turn that on. It's got a built-in microphone. You just completely be quiet, and if someone actually comes to it and talks into it, it lights up the light and possibly sounds a buzzer. This is a EMF pump, but not a normal EMF pump. What you can do is that you can connect this to an audio recorder. So you need like a phono plug to plug in there and into there. And apparently what it does, I've not really had much from it myself, to be honest with you. But what it's meant to do is that when it's generating its EMF field, it's sending EMF through your plug into your radio, into your recorder. And in some ways or means, or if it's even possible, if they are able to communicate through EMF while this is generating EMF, it transfers the voice from the EMF into your audio recorder, and your audio recorder is meant to record the voices through the EMF field, and you can play it back and listen. Now, I've not really tried it. I think I did try it one time and I didn't get nothing. I thought it was a bit of a waste of time, so I threw it in the drawer. I'll have to give that one a test out another again sometime. Again, 9-volt battery. Everything you buy nowadays, 9-volt batteries. Now, someone told me, why don't you buy rechargeable batteries? But I found that sometimes when you buy a rechargeable battery, it still isn't as powerful as a normal 9-volt battery is, or a rechargeable one can damage by blowing up your device. So that's that. Those two. What else is there? I've done EM pumps. I've done K2 meters. This is supposed to be a shadow detector, and I've never had nothing on this whatsoever. What you do, you put in your 9-volt battery like so, you turn it on. You got 2 switches, one for the power switch, and you've got an LED there, and what it does, it shines a light onto the wall, and if anything interacts with that light, somehow it's meant to set off the alarm, and that's what your buzzer's there for. So if anything does interact with it, it sets off the alarm. Now, I'm thinking, why add the alarm on or off? You know, unless you actually see the shadow go past the wall, then that's fair enough. And if you have got that on and you turn away, I suppose, unless you're looking at the wall constantly, you won't really need the sound on. But if you've got it turned on and you're not looking on at the wall where this is supposed to be shining, if something does go past, then the alarm lets you know that something's gone past, and you turn around and possibly, hopefully, catch what might go past on the shadow detector. But I've not seen anyone get any proof that these work. And these were around about £40, £45 to buy. Just like the EM pump, that was about £65 to buy at the time. And that was around about £60 to buy. I don't know, they still sell them on the pigs.co.uk, the Paranormal Group. Well, a lot of my stuff I bought off there, you know, like the REM pod and a few other bits, you know, like K2 meter, trifield meters, I believe I bought off of them, and a few other bits and pieces. Now, we all know what this is. Again, batteries are flat. This is a temperature gun, so, you know, if you feel that there's a cold draft around you, just turn it on. It can, like, shine a laser. It's got a sensor in there as well, so it picks up the humidity. You know, if it does change, it gives you an LDC readout. I've used this and it has worked on a few occasions where I've asked it, you know, to lower the temperature and the temperature's dropped. And I've asked them to make the temperature higher, warmer, and it's worked. I can only think it was spiritual because it was doing it on command. It's like with my EM pumps, with the temperature, even the millimeter, these, you know, they got like built-in temperatures, and I've asked them to manipulate the temperature, and they have manipulated the temperature on them. So, you know, anything temperature-wise is worth getting, because you can find out just by the cold spots if there's anything active around you. Only a few more things, thankfully. This cost me an arm and a leg. I think it was about £95 to £100, I think, at the time. And again, batteries are dead. I'm not even sure what way it goes round. Why is it not going in? It doesn't even want to go in. That's weird. I don't want to push it in. Well, that's the right way in. Oh, reason why, because a bloody magnet stuck to the bottom. Right, let's see how that one works. No, I want to show you this working if I can. So let's take one out of my DC box. This is more like a geophone. This is like a geophone. I'll invite you on in a minute, Dave, if you want to come on. Have a chat about paranormal gear. Right, this is a geophone, yeah? What it does, it detects vibration on the ground. So you put that there. I don't think it's going to pick up on the bed, but you see the vibration, it's setting off. but even when it's not being, manipulated, it's still going off. And it takes a while for it to turn itself off. Now there's two reasons why that's taking so long for it to turn off. One, it could be the battery issue, or two, there's still vibration going around on the bed, which I can't understand because I'm not touching the bed. So to me, it could be 40. But you can have it turned on. And if you're getting fed up with the sound, then you can turn the sound off. I don't think it's got a microphone. It's got a bass unit on now for the sensor, I suppose. But I've not really used this much, to be honest with you. This did actually break, and there is a bit of a weight to it. There is a bit of a weight to it, and you could hear it rattling inside. Would you believe they've actually put like 5 big bolts about that size in there to weight it down? The reason why I've done that, because like the sensor isn't like having the weight on it. So if you didn't have the bolts in it, it probably might not pick up the actual vibration. But because they put the bolts in there, it holds it down, gives it that kind of extra oomph, I suppose, kind of thing. The weight to it. So the weight will make it more level on the ground, and any vibration will set it off. But while I put, I think there's about 5 or 6 bolts, about that big in there. And the other day when I was like picking it up, you can hear them rattling around, and I opened it up and 3 of them actually came off, so I just had to hot glue them back in. So that's a geophone kind of like sensor, vibration sensor. Another ghost box I hacked myself, little Murphy Richards, hacked that myself. Only got the one left. Well, I've got another one, but it's completely knackered. I think I cut the wrong cables and I can't get the cables back together. This cost me £300. 300, and it's a thermal imager. It's Seek thermal imager. Cat's actually got one similar to this, and what it does, it just picks up thermal imaging. And I've used it, and I've caught some interesting things with it. It's got modes on there where you can have like filters. Is like black and white. You got your orangey, reddish kind of filter. You got your blue, red and orange. Your black and white. I think it's got about 5 filters on it. It takes up to, I think, a 32 gig memory card. Your cable goes in the back, down the bottom here. Yeah, it runs off a mini USB charger port to charge it up. The battery does last a long time if you're not using it. And if you use it for 10 minutes, the battery does hold its charge. I've had this battery charged up, and it's still, got a full charge in it over like 7-8 months. So £300. They have actually gone up as well. I think I last saw one for 400 quid. So £400 they are now. That's it really. The only other thing I've got is another bench radio which I hacked today. It's not a normal hack, you have to bridge it. I did have my other radio that fell apart on me, so I was a bit too heavy-handed and I just thrown that in the drawer. But at least I know what radio it is, and if I find another radio, then I know what wire I might need to cut. But it doesn't mean in cutting the wire it's going to make it into a ghost box. But this is the Bench KH208. It's not just a simple cut wire. You have to bridge it, as I say, onto another part of the circuit board. Got that hacked today. Got that listed. The other ghost box is not a ghost box. I'm not sure how to hack that one. There's only like a ribbon which has got 5 strips on it. Not like that one. It's got like, I think, 8 or 10 strip cable. This one's got about 4 or 5 strip cable. And we all know about digital cameras. I don't know how many cameras I've got. I've got at least half a dozen different cameras. One of them is actually hacked into full spectrum. Problem is, the batteries do run down rather quickly, even when you're not using the damn camera. I can't find the chargers, so these are just sitting on the shelf at the moment. But I want to find the charger so I can take it out and do some photography with them one day. But I've got like 5 or 6 different cameras, and that's it. Now I've got the fun of putting all these back over there now, but I'm going to try to put some of these back in the drawer. No, if you ever see one of these DT250s, do not buy them because they're not hackable. These are the new version, the updated technology inside them. I think there's a cable in it, but I cut the cable and it doesn't mute, it doesn't scan. So give me a few minutes. I need to put some of this stuff back in the drawer. Oh, here's another little audio recorder you can pick up on Amazon. I've seen these going for stupid prices, actually, about 15, 20, 25 quid. Steve Cooper gave me one, and he put like a little filter thing in it. What he done, it's supposed to make the audio a bit more clearer, but I never really used it. It's been stuck in the drawer. So as I say, give me a few minutes. I need to put this stuff back over here. Oh, my knees are hurting again. Shit. Made a cat run. Oh, here's another thing I got from the Pigstock UK. It's supposed to be a trigger object. You put a piece of metal there, you turn it on, and if something touches that, it sets off the 2 LEDs and makes a bleeping noise. Never really had much out of that, to be honest with you. You know, some of the gear, like Dave said on one of our chats, you just don't know what works and what doesn't work. You know, you just got to buy it and test it and see if it does work. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. You know, we don't know what technology spirits are able to use and communicate with us. There could be a simple piece of equipment out there which might cost a few pound or a few £100 or a few £1,000, which might give us means of communicating with spirits in a better way, I suppose. You know, even with the equipment we do have, we can't prove it's spirits that's communicating with us. No, there is no real proof that we are talking to spirits at the moment, is there really? Not that I see, you know, because we get voices through EVP. You know, that's good. But with the technology, when things are going off like a DC box, REM pod, K2 meter, EMF meter, that could just be some form of energy that's manipulating it, passing by, or in a station, like in that area, always being generated by something. So let me just clear this up quickly because I've got so much stuff out. I've got to sort it out because otherwise it's going to get damaged. I ain't going to be too happy when it keeps getting damaged and broken. So I've got about 5 or 6 more things to sort out quickly. And if Dave wants to come on for a chat in a minute, I'll send him a link. But I won't be on too much longer because I think they're going out tomorrow morning. Maybe, depending on the weather. Whoa, crap, you tripped over then. Right, let me just quickly go to the bathroom. And then I'll give Dave an invite if he wants to come on. See what kind of gear he likes to mess around with. Yeah, I've got to also build something for John when the boxes come through because I ordered the wrong bloody boxes. The ones I needed weren't the right ones. I ordered these small ones by mistake. I think they're the right ones, but they weren't. So what I had to do was find a ruler and measure these boxes. And once I've got the right measurements, I had to order these boxes. Cost me more bloody money. Right, let's sort this soldering iron out quickly, get this out of the way. Unplug that. I'll leave that for now. What's this? No, them ones are not the ones I wanted. Right, let's send Dave an invite if he wants to come on. Get that out of the way. Right, I'm going to send you an invite, Dave, if you want to come on. It's up to you. I'm not forcing you. Log into Facebook. Where are you? No, still got stuff out. Let's just stick that there for now. Right, I sent Dave an invite. It's up to him if he wants to come on. I'm not going to force you up. Hello. Fucking hell, you actually did turn up. I thought you weren't going to turn up.
Why? I turn up to yours, Steve. It's the other way around. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because you fucking stream around about fucking 3 o'clock in the morning sometimes when I'm in bed getting ready to go out the next morning.
Yeah, my stuff's a little bit weirder as well, I suppose, in a way,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah, a lot more weirder when you have Nodge and Steve on. Fucking hell, I was watching that. All about teleportation and time machines and quantum leap and all that fucking shit. I thought, what the fuck are they on about now?
Yeah, I know. Well, it's I'm interested in all that as well, you know. So it's sometimes it's nice to come away from just ghosts and spirits and all that kind of thing and do other stuff, you know.
So how's it going?
Not too bad, mate. How about yourself? You doing okay?
Yeah, not too bad. Cut the trolls here and there, but I ignore them. As you saw, we had one in here a little while ago, but he didn't cause any problems. So, equipment-wise,
Yes.
what's your? I think I might have asked you this before, but what's your best bit of equipment?
I use a lot of gear, as you know, Steve. But I think if it, you know, without naming any particular model, I like audio recorders. Probably my favourite thing, because you can not only can you capture EVP, but you can document what's going on in the investigation or when you're at the location. But it depends upon where I'm at and what kind of investigation I'm doing as to where you know, where I'm going to put certain pieces of equipment, how long I'm going to deploy it for, and for what reason.
Have you actually seen one of those things I showed earlier? Those sonic ears.
I'm not sure you have, Steve. If you put it up to the screen so I can see it, please.
Well, I did put it up earlier, but I'm not sure what I've done with it now.
Yeah, I've been in and out. Been fairly busy.
Oh yeah, well, I've lost the actual battery component thing, but it's one of these.
All right, yeah.
And what you do, you got your jack out. You can wear headphones, but you can put a jack in, into there and pull it into the recorder and walk around with it. I've used it. It did seem to boost up the audio on responses. You know, you could hear, like when I was over at the cemetery one time. Yeah, you know, there wasn't much traffic around. I know because I was near the traffic, but it picked up the distant traffic quite clear. So
amplified it.
Yeah, amplified it, and some of the EVPs I got off it was really crazy, man. I didn't expect to get any. You know, I thought I'd just get like the normal kind of EVP, but I've got a lot more EVP. You could even hear kids playing in a park, which was about a quarter mile away.
Well, there's on the internet that it's easy enough to get hold of. You know, an old parabolic dish. It's almost like a kid's toy, but you can get it, and it has a jack plug attachment, and it does amplify the sound, but it also amplifies the background noise as well, and that comes up with it. But I know people that have had good results with that.
I know what one you mean, but I don't know what done with it. I had it here the other day, but I pulled out so much stuff. I know what you mean. It's like a gun thing in it, and it's got.
It is. Yeah.
You
know,
if
I'm doing an indoor investigation, I'll use a mixing desk and connect phantom powered condenser microphones to it, so you can adjust the gain, which will bring in a lot of noise. Well, a lot of it makes it very sensitive anyway. So I don't really need that kind of
so
stuff.
That's what that small one I showed a little while ago. That Steve Cooper gave me.
Right.
He put like a little condenser in that one. He said that will make your EVPs a lot more clearer. But I never really used it.
Yeah. I'm talking like a studio mic kind of condenser.
Yeah.
A large diaphragm condenser, yeah.
Yeah, he put something in there and he said it'd definitely make your audio a bit more clearer. You won't get so much staticky kind of white noise coming through it.
Yeah.
So EVP recorder, what else do you prefer to use? How about EMF devices?
EMF devices will be the natural EM meter. The Tri-Field natural EM meter would be my first port of call. I've got 32 EMF meters, Steve, so it becomes difficult to choose which the right one is at any one time.
32. And
Yeah,
you're saying,
32.
You know, what, not trying to be rude, but you said, why have all that stuff in your background if you're not going to use it? Fuck
Yeah,
hell,
but I use mine.
EMF meters.
I use mine.
Well, I
That's
use
the difference.
mine. I use
That's
mine.
that's
I
the
don't
difference.
Go.
If
I can't
I've got
use mine.
if I've got 8 people with me, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not on my own. There might be 8 to 10 of us, depending. And carrying EMF meters, as well as placing EMF meters in different places, as well as you need backups in case EMF meters go down. So it still doesn't take, it doesn't take long to build up a bit of a collection, But I suppose after the natural EM meter, I like the ability to be able to measure in micro Teslas as well as milligauss. So, the Mel meter's okay, but I've got other meters that the MTech 82 is a good meter as well.
So that's why I've got more equipment. I don't want to get rid of it in case I get another group up. Reason why I've got more stuff myself, because I was doing it with Aaron, Warren, Simon, when he used to come down here. Simon James, but I've got a nephew called Simon, and I used to take all my stuff down here and used to let them all use it. So we're not sharing like 1 K2 meter between us.
Yeah.
Or one audio recorder or one camcorder. I used to take like 3. And if there was 4 of us, then one would be doing just random like normal photos with the camera, while 3 of us would be using like the camcorders. And each one of us would have like a K2 meter. Each one of us have like a audio record, all that kind of stuff. That's why I've got so much stuff, because I'm not doing stuff with people anymore at the moment. But there might be a possible chance that I could get into another group or make my own group, and then I can let them use it as long as I don't go around fucking breaking it.
Well, that's the chance you take when you sort of lead a team, if you like. I don't believe that there is leaders, but you know what I mean. And if you're the main person in the group who's buying everything, then I suppose you have to expect casualties when you're out and about. Hi there, Ulrich. I hope you're okay.
Right, Ulrich. Yeah, I had one of my new dolls up last night, and I put some of the device up, like the K2 meter, the DC box, and that new EMF one I've made, with the green LED. Although the green one, the small EMF one, didn't go off.
Yeah.
Being that one, the K2 meter and the DC box was going off quite a lot last night with the new doll that I put up. Angela done some timestamps on the video last night.
Sacramento?
No, the other one, Angela.
O'Rourke, is it?
Yeah.
Angela O'Kane?
Yeah, O'Kane, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she done some like timestamps. There was one when I just turned the light off. Past, and she done timestamp saying that something white flew into the mirror, and it's like just probably a few seconds after I walked past. So I've not really had time to watch the video and check the timestamps, but she put down like K2 meter gone off once, or K2 meter went off twice. The DC box and K2 meter was going off at the same time. So she done a nice little job doing that for us. So I will get to watch it probably tomorrow.
Yeah, well, the thing is about EMF fields is they can be all at different frequencies in relation. I mean, electric fields and magnetic fields travel at right angles to one another, and when they propagate through the environment, and they can be at totally different resonant frequencies. So if you've got one EMF meter, it's not going to do the job. A lot of them will measure from say like 3 to 30 megahertz or 30 to 300 megahertz. In ratings or steps of 2.5 milligauss, depending. I mean, I think the K2 meter does it in 2.5 steps. Is it 2.5, then 5, then 10 or something? So you don't. Yeah, see, if you've got one EMF meter, you're only measuring a certain amount of the electromagnetic field. So that's another reason why I've got a lot of different EMF meters for different situations and to measure different amounts of energy.
So a lot of people don't really trust the K2 meters as much now, but there was one time which I was doing a live stream, and I had 2 K2 meters in the living room, one in the centre of the room, and one right near the back wall where the mirror was, where I always used to catch, like, you know, apparitions in the mirror. And they was both going off one night. This, I swear, true. I've got it on video somewhere on my channel. I went in there, and I said, I've got to try to debunk this for a minute. Yeah, I can't understand why they are both going off unless there's a hell of a lot of energy going on in that living room. So I went in there. I went, if there's someone manipulating these K2 meters, can you make them light up both at the same time? And they both went off at the same time. So I said, right, hang on a minute. Let me try doing something else. I said, I'm going to turn them both off. I do not want you to manipulate them in any way until I tell you so. So I turned them both off. I turned them back on. You know, you had like a little spike here and then, but I said, right, if there's spirit in here that's manipulating, I can't even say now, manipulating these K2 meters, make them both go off as high as you can right now. And as soon as I said right now, both of them hit the red and they went crazy. And I thought, whoa. So, you know, there must have been some kind of like spirit interaction or some kind of EMF that was, you know, in that room to set them both off. You know, they were going crazy, man. Both
well, I mean, the thing is it 2K2 meters still measure the same frequency of electromagnetic radiation, don't they? And you know, whatever's going to set one off is going to set the other one off if they're in close proximity to one another. If you've got any kind of stray radio stations, any kind of low level electricity can set them off. So I personally, I know this doesn't go down well with a lot of people that do paranormal investigation, but tough. I don't really rate K2 meters at all. In as a scientific measuring instrument, you may as well bin them and save your money and save up a bit more money and get something else. But I do understand that people get interaction with them and that they like using them. But personally, I don't put any store in them.
Yeah. So when I actually asked them to set them both off at the same time, it did happen. I thought, whoa, you know, something's got to be going on here. And like, I had nothing turned on in the living room. All what's running was my cameras. Both K2 meters were far apart. I'm talking about 15, 20 feet apart from each other. And for them to both go off at the same time, because it's been recorded on my DVR, you know, I turned around and saw them both going off. I was going, oh, that kind of thing. Whoa, you know, fucking hell. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a spirit. And that was like, you know, hitting top red, both of them. And when I said, can you stop? They both stopped. And when I said, do it again, it went off again.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is with most EMF meters is they measure AC electrical current, which is a man-made electrical current. It's alternating current, as you know. And living things give off a DC electrical current, not AC. Yeah. So I've always thought, you know, for me, the only way that they can manipulate it is not because the AC meters pick up electromagnetic or EMF radiation given off by a spirit. If they do work at picking up spirits, the only way that I can see it working is that the spirits manipulate the LEDs rather than the meters themselves acting as a sensor. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas if it's a DC electrical EMF meter, then if you get a natural, if you get a tri-field natural EM meter, because you've got one, haven't you?
I've got two, yeah.
Yeah. And then it'll pick up your own body. You know, if you move it about too much or you move towards it, it'll pick up the small electrical charges that you give off yourself. Your brainwave patterns from delta up to theta can go from 4 hertz up to 30 hertz and above. So it'll pick up that natural DC electrical energy from your body.
Yeah. But it's kind of interesting, you know, you've asked them, you know, to light them up and they both light up, and when you say stop, it stops. Because we don't know, you know, like, if they are, what do you say, like AC, and what do we give off? DC?
We give off DC, yeah.
Yeah. So how do we know that spirits can't manipulate AC and DC? And
because AC is an alternating current, which is a man-made current, 50 hertz. It can only be used by using a capacitor within a transformer to chop off half of the sine wave. So it's a mechanical generated current. Not naturally occurring. The Earth's geomagnetic field is also DC electrical, not AC.
Well, whatever it was making them fucking K2 meters go off when I asked them to go off, and when I said stop, it stopped. The saint was manipulating them, as I say, and well, and that's the best response and best results I ever had with the K2 meters in that living room that night.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, like I say, like I said before, is I'm not dismissing the fact that some kind of energy within the environment can't manipulate the LEDs to illuminate in some way. Possibly, I don't know, but I don't think they're truly acting as a sensor and picking up spirit energy. Personally, that's just a personal opinion. There's nothing to prove it. I mean, AC is a mechanically generated by components. It's not a naturally occurring electrical magnetic field.
So what do you think about EM pumps?
You mean with a rare earth magnet in them? Well, that's generating mainly a magnetic field, isn't it? And I think drawing energy. Personally, I think if spirits do need energy or to draw energy, that they take it from people rather than devices. But I've been on investigations myself, and you'll know this because you've conducted enough experiments as well. When devices have been completely drained, the batteries have just been completely mullered when you've been in a haunted location, and that's always difficult to explain, isn't it?
That's why I've built several different types of EM pumps. Like you got one. So John's got the one which has got the old kind of like old multimeter kind of thing. But that offered me free. I have promised him I will do a power sensor once I get the correct boxes through.
Well, do it when you can do it. You can only do it when you can do it, Steve. You don't, it's one of them, isn't it?
I did get boxes through, but I've ordered the wrong bloody boxes. Because the image on Facebook on eBay looked like the right ones, but when they came through, I thought, hang on a minute, they're not the box I ordered, are they? But they sent me the wrong ones, and you can see the difference between that box and the box I needed. There's a big difference. You can't put one of those power sensor LCD screens across there because it's going to just kind of be overlapping, and you won't be able to get the actual circuit board in there either.
But they're a good size for DC boxes, though. You could put DC boxes in them, couldn't you?
Not in ones, no.
Yeah, no.
Oh, that one. Yeah. I showed one earlier with a DC box in that one. Michael had one of me as well. With the big 10 mil LDC, not the LCD, 10 mil LEDs.
Yeah.
So I bought some of those, cut them weeks back. Bought red, yellow, green, and white, and blue. So I'm thinking about building one or two more in those boxes, but I don't know yet. I wanted to try to get ones like the normal Wimpod has, like the circular, but I don't know where you get them casings from. I like to build one like that. I just don't know where you get this. I think it's something to do with plumbing, isn't it? Those kind of things. I don't know where to get them. I tried looking around for them, but I couldn't find them.
I'm sure you'll pick something up when you get the chance, won't you? You've always got your eyes open for things like that, aren't you? You're all over it really as best as you can be. You can't build it if you haven't got the stuff to build it with, Steve. It's not your fault, is it?
Yeah, no. I try to help people out, but I can't do it if I ain't got the equipment. I ain't going to keep spending that money when it's going to cost me money to do stuff for people. If I've got the gear here, the kits, the boards, the LEDs, the boxes, then I can do it because I've got to spend out. Because over the years, I've bought so much. I didn't go out and buy one kit. I bought like several kits because I know when I build the first kit, I'm going to screw it up. So I have to use a second one or a third one. And once I know how to build them and not screwing up, at least I can continue building a few more. For myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I've been going through my drawer and my box and stuff like that, I've got enough to build like maybe 2 or 3 more DC boxes.
See you later, Drew. Take it easy.
Catch you later, Drew. The power sensors, I've only got like 1 kit left, and that's going to go to John. Now, I've got bits of kit, but I ain't got the right bits to put another kit together, because not all the circuit boards are the same. And there's no way you can actually like modify them. Not I could see. It's like with that. What's the name? That one. I bought 11 of these off a guy at the car.
All right.
Thinking that I could make these, but it's not like these. It's not like the actual door handle vibration thing. Although you can actually hang this on the door, and you've got a cable that you can connect to the actual handle. If the handle is moved, then it pulls out the actual pin and sets off 140 decibel. And I tell you, when I tried this, I pulled the pin out and my ears were vibrating. It felt like there's an electric drill in my head. It was making me feel really kind of weird, and I thought I was going to be unconscious on it, man. I tell you, it's so loud. I thought, well, no, I can't really use those. I don't think there is a way to modify those. And I wouldn't know how to turn the decibels down either. So I've got 10 of these sitting in the living room doing nothing at the moment.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Especially if you're wandering around somebody else's house and you put one of them sensors up and it starts blasting out all over the place.
Yeah.
There'll be some use for them though somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll keep them for now and see if there is something I can use them. I'll do like a YouTube search and find out if anyone can modify them. What else was I going to say to you? So what type of REM pods do you like? Do you like
sorry, Steve, come.
Do you like the REM pods, which has got the 4 LED? Do you like the one which has got the temperature in? Because they've got several different kind of REM pods out there now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's a good question, actually. I mean, I've got a couple of REM pods, and obviously, as you know, I've got a couple of DC boxes, and I tend to think that your DC boxes are actually more sensitive than the REM pods. But if I did use the REM pod that I would use is one with the ATDD in it, the ambient temperature detection device thing.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. I think when they've got too much stuff in them, you're looking at major battery drain. When you've built bits of equipment where it's been multi-voltage or it's had different things within one box, say like the multi-box, you'll put dual battery compartments in, so the battery drain isn't as bad, But I think, with some of these things that are mass produced, it's 1 9-volt battery, and you can like lose power really quickly. And if it's cold outside, you're doing an external investigation and the temperature's low, your current drain drops, so your voltage drops, so your batteries run out quicker as well. So I personally use the DC box more than use the REM pod, is the answer to that question.
No, thank you. No, the reason why I made the multi-box and made it so that you could use multiple batteries, because I knew that you wouldn't be able to use 2 or 3 of the things on the multi-box at the same time if it's been under one battery, because it would drain the battery so quick.
Yeah.
So that's why I put like multiple battery connectors to them. Like I didn't think about putting a ghost box in my one, but I did. That little small ghost box that you had, which had the temperature problem, but sorted that out. But I've got one of those in there, and I was thinking of getting some more and stripping them out and put them in some more like mini multi boxes kind of thing, like have a ghost box and a DC box, 2-in-1 kind of thing, and see how that works out. Because then, like that way, it's going to be even a smaller multi box and not a more of a chunkier one like we got, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I know, like with the boxes I've done, the multi box ones, it saves you carrying so many different devices, don't it?
Yeah.
You've only got one pair of hands, and that's what made me think about it. I thought, well, if I'm building stuff, why don't I try to cram whatever I can in one box, but you don't really want to cram too much in there because you're going to weigh it down, and people are going to get confused. And if you're going to have like the DC box and another device turned on at the same time, it might actually manipulate each other and set them both off. Like with the SAF box, for instance,
yeah.
If you've got that turned on and you've got the DC box turned on, if you get a hit on the DC box, it's going to sound, it's going to activate the SAV box because the SAV box is picking up the audio from the DC box. So I'm thinking, well, if you're going to use the DC box, don't use the SAV box.
That's the trick, isn't it? Just because you've got all these devices in one doesn't mean you need to use them all the time, but it still saves you having to carry them all, doesn't it? You've still got,
Well, like how many? I can't remember. 5, 6 devices in your one. Saves you carrying 5 or 6 in one pair of hands. There's a time when me and my nephew was over at Stretton Common, and we was like, carrying bits and pieces. I had like 4 or 5 bits of equipment out on the floor. He hears a snap in the trees, scares the shit out of him. He runs down this fucking footpath, leaving me behind, and I'm trying to grab all my gear, and I have grabbed them, and I'm kind of like running after him, and I'm practically dropping them again, and fucking. I thought, well, and that's what gave me the idea of the multi-box. I thought I can't be like, going on an investigation and chasing after someone who's being scared shitless, and I've got like 4 or 5 items in my hand, So if you're going to drop them, you're going to bust them. If you've got it all in one particular box, then it saves you carrying all those different bits and pieces, and it's up to you on what you want to use. Like, you can use the DC box, you can use the, you could probably use like the iron detect. I've still not been able to suss out if, well, actually, I say that, we're supposed to have thunderstorms left, right, and centre this week, but we haven't had them, have we? I've only had one thunderstorm. And I'm dying to try to test that iron detector out. I know it works with the plasma ball, and it will go off with the lights as well. But I want to find out what other kind of forms of energy it set off the iron detector.
I tested mine.
How do you do that?
In the thunderstorms.
Did it go off?
Only when the lightning was right overhead, but yes, it did.
Fucking hell, so it does work then.
It looks like it must do, because when it was further away, no. But the tri-field naturally metered it. Pardon?
Did you video it, record it?
I weren't expecting it to go off, if I'm honest with you, Steve, so I didn't know, but I wish I had.
So if a lightning strike is overhead, although you got to be careful, because if it hits the antenna, it could probably fire the box and yourself. But it actually works, does it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I was indoors. It was on the windowsill. I knew there was storms supposed to be coming, so I put it on the windowsill, and I thought, right, okay, I'll keep an eye on that. It's a big flash of light. The LED lit up out of the corner of my eye. I saw it on the windowsill, and I thought, it's gone off. It's just worked. There was another flash, slightly moving further away. It went off a little bit dimmer, and then as everything moved away even a little bit more, that's it. Then it didn't go off again, but it did go off. I saw it.
Didn't it set the buzzer off? So it set off the light and the buzzer.
Yeah, but the obviously the crack of thunder was because it was right overhead. So obviously the lightning and the thunder were pretty much right on top of one another.
Yeah, we only had like a little storm the other day. Like I was really waiting, preparing to go out on storm. I didn't think about taking any gear because I've been having fucking problems with the DVR system. And the night it started, I got a clear crack of thunder out. So I thought, great, we're going to get the thunderstorm. Then I saw it picking down the rain. I thought, great. I stripped down to my boxer shorts. I ran out onto the balcony and I waited. Well, I was just like letting the rain pour down on me. I was like a little rain shower. And I turned to my DVR and after, I was out there for a few minutes and it started getting a bit cold and chilly. So I grabbed my towel, came in. And I thought, you know what, I've got to get that video clip off and put it up on YouTube for people to have a laugh at. Came in, went to the DVR setting to check for the video. Fucking hard drive had gone down, so it didn't capture it. So I thought, bollocks. But
Yeah,
I
you've been
didn't.
having a bit of a nightmare with that, haven't you? DVR system. It's been a pain.
Yeah, you know, like the bedroom ones are okay, but the hallway I've got like a fuzzy line. I've got like when you got the TV on and it's
Yeah.
on the blank station, you get that big kind of rolling kind of like line. I've got one of those in the living room. I've got static lines, about 5, 6 static lines going across the screen, rolling up on the screen. Like so, you got one set there and one set there. That's going up on one of the screens on the DVR. I've changed the camera in the kitchen to the one I used to have in the pink screen one because at night the camera in the DVR camera in the kitchen just kept going on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. But during the daytime, it stayed on constantly. But as soon as it started getting dark, off, on, off, on, off, on. So I thought, fuck this. I'll just find another camera, which I did not know was the one I had in here for 2 years, which was the pink kind of like screen colour. I just stuck that in there for now. Chris Powers, Northwest Ghost Hunters, used to be like Spirit Encounters. He said he's got a DVR boxing semi, which I think he's going to be doing. So if I've got any cameras or like cables, I'll send them down. I said, well, if you do, I'll do something for you. I'll send you a SAF box up or something like that. For just for as a thank you kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. Chris Moon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, Mark done me a donation the other day, which I didn't know he'd done. He'd done it through PayPal. So I want to say thank you to him. I'm going to send him one of my little SAF boxes up. So I just got to make sure I've got the equipment. I think I've got the boxes and the adapters for the little button battery. But I think that's going to be a good little thing for them to use, especially like if they're in different rooms. Because how good they are. With the sound it comes out when you talk or the vibration, and if they're in a location where you get a lot of cold spots. That cold spot might hit the microphone and set the alarm off as well.
Yeah.
And not many people have got those boxes, Dave.
No, so believe, no.
So I think about 4 people have only got them. You in that multi-box, Michael, Living Dead Paranormal, and myself.
Yeah, Living Dead Paranormal definitely got one, haven't they?
Yeah. But yeah, what kind of cam like night vision cameras do you like? Camcorder wise. So I like my Sony ones.
Yeah, Sony Handycam, yeah, with the built-in hard drive, digital recording, HD.
I've got 3 or 4 of those ones. But there are some of the older ones that used to be better. Like I said before, I had one which I got from Sex. I paid like 50 quid for it. No, I think I paid about 35, 40 quid for it, yeah. And my nephew didn't have one, so I said, I'll sell this to you for 50 quid. So he said, yeah, all right then. Well, when I met up with him, I had that one and another Sony camcorder. They looked similar to each other, but I went and sold him the one I got from Sex, and I noticed that one was better than the one I had. So I actually gave him the wrong one, and I was really pissed off about it.
Yeah, gutted.
I was gutted because it had a better IO
sensor.
On it.
Okay.
Sensor, it was more clear at night time than the other one. And I said, I'm supposed to give you this one. No, sorry, you gave me this one. I'm not swapping it over. I said, well, send it back to me. He goes, yeah, 100 quid. He wanted double the money back. I said, no, fuck off.
Yeah, cheeky.
I said, no. I said, no, well, I'll just have to wait and see if I can find another one. Now, I did see a couple on eBay over time, but there's bidding wars on them because they were bloody like good cameras. Now I've got a camera here which you probably might recognise if I can get the damn thing out without knocking everything down, which I normally do. Now, I have seen people use these before. They are good cameras, but when you're panning around, it makes everything so blurry, and that's these big bloody things.
Got one.
This is Handycam Digital 8.
Yeah, it uses the high 8 tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only got one high 8 tape, I think. It's got a big kind of like IR light at the front. It is night vision.
They pull in loads of light though, them, Steve.
Yeah, but
compared to the newer ones,
they're so heavy to carry. And when you're like, I took this with Simon James over Wimbledon Common, yeah. And when you're panning around, you know, unless you're doing it very slowly, it's okay. But when you're doing that, it's just so blurry, out of focus. It's fucking ridiculous, man. But
can you not change the focus settings from center spot to multi?
I don't know, because the battery's not charged up, and I ain't got no other.
You know, on the back near where the viewfinder is there not a little thumb wheel that you can press in and it activates the menu?
Yeah, you got fader, backlight, and focus.
Yeah.
Then you got like a little thumb wheel, which is select, push, execute, or something.
Yeah, there you go.
But and you got a PB zoom on there. So I thought that this might only be better if it's on a tripod and it's stationary in like a residential or a castle or a hotel or something. But when I was using it, it's, you know, quite heavy in your hands, and your hands and your arms started aching. I thought, Simon, fuck this, mate. This is going back in my bag. I'm going to get the smaller one out. So
you use it in locked off locations, kind of thing.
Yeah. You know, the battery, chunky battery, that lasts up to about 4 or 5 hours, I think.
I'm using the DCR SR36s, the digital ones with the built-in hard drives.
Yeah, I've got some. Let's see if I can find one. No, that's the outdoor one.
Residential as we speak. Been contacted about one now.
What, that camera?
Resident, yeah, just this second.
Yeah, I've got like several different cameras. Like, I'm not sure where my night vision one is. I've got a couple of night visions somewhere. But I've got a couple which I use during the daytime. One is with my magnifying glass. DCR SR37.
Oh, so the SR37, yeah, I know it well, yeah.
Yeah, that one. I've got this one, which takes the disc, I think, CD disc.
Yep.
Which is the SR35. Oh no, it's a 30 gig one, 30 gig hard drive.
30 gigs ample for an invest, though.
Yeah. This one is SR5.
Yeah, you got a few cameras, haven't you? It's, like I say, you use the which one's that in your van now?
Yeah, that's the SR5 40 gig.
The SR5, right? Okay, 40 gig, yeah.
This one's got night vision, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've got a few SR36s. If I'm doing standard light, normal visible white light, then I use the Sony it's the RX100V. Well, it's the DSC RX100V, the HD one, what does all the slow motion recording and everything as well if I want, but they're pricey cameras, so if I can avoid taking them out, I will. If we're outside and that,
This one is a DCR PC 107E. it takes the tape.
The mini DV.
Yeah.
Yeah, mini DV. Yeah.
And this is night vision. Well, I never really used it that much because I've got other ones similar to this, which is night vision.
Yeah, that isn't night vision then, no?
That one isn't, but that one is.
Okay.
But I have got something similar to this, like, you know, which is night vision. I've got 2 of them, but one of them I couldn't use because the connector at the back broke, so I wasn't able to like put it on the actual charger thing, which you was able to connect to the PC through the USB port. So the only way I was able to do it was some of these have got like another adapter, I think, on the cameras. Yeah, like this one. You can get an actual connector with a USB port and connect it that way. But let's put these back. I think I've got. I'll show you another camera which I like. If I can think what one it is, which is night vision. Let's put these ones back first. I'll show you one which you'll laugh at, but I'll tell you one thing, it used to be okay for what I wanted. So it had night vision on some of them. And they're more like kiddies like cameras.
Okay.
I can't think what I've done with it. These are all the radios. No, I'm thinking of doing another stream one night with just like cameras and camcorders and stuff like that. So every time I call some cat, go fucking flying all the time. So much gear over here. I need to put some of this stuff in the boxes. This is it. Yeah. Right, so I've got this one here. It's not night vision, but I've got one similar where you put the night vision through the actual menu on the button on here.
Excuse me.
So you've got a menu and you have to turn it on and go through the menu to actually get to night vision. This ain't the one, but it's similar to this one. But I've got this other one, which is night vision. And as soon as you turn it on, yeah, this is the one where you have to go through the setup on here. And when you go to the setup, it actually gives you the option to go to night vision. But then I've got another one similar to this one where it's got like a little button just inside and you just press it once and it's straight on night vision and you don't have to go through all the settings.
Yeah.
So that's what I like using because they're more lighter, although they're using like memory cards, being 32 gig, you know, a couple of hours worth of video in it.
Yeah.
And these ones, these little action cams, I use these for my bushcrafting, but I had a couple a few years ago and I took it apart and I took the filter out and I was able to make one of them into full spectrum. So I've got 2 of these Extreme HD ones, which I'll take out of me sometimes. Not, but well, I'll take 2 of them out with me in case I drop one and break one. But I've got that one. Oh, here it is. Here's my other Sony one. HD, what was it? DCR SR33.
Yeah, DCR SR33s, good cameras. Michael's going now, I think he's saying.
Oh, him. Catch like Mike. He'll be back. He's always in and out, Michael's. This is the camera we actually caught those apparitions in Jordan's Wood and Puckley Village.
Oh, yeah.
This camera. So, these are bloody good cameras.
Oh, yeah.
If you've got a proper IR background, like, say, like a 6 LED IR light, then it's even better. IR or full spectrum.
I use 5 watts, 6 of them in a panel, 5 watt LEDs, IR LEDs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but 5 watts of infrared is a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of energy, so they put out a lot of light. Even outdoors, it illuminates the area massively. Indoors, you've got to turn them right down because they're too much. But I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it,
Yeah. I started off with a couple of these little cameras, actually.
Sorry, mate, I just had to click away a sec. Show me again. So, oh, yeah, the Vivitage, yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 4, well, I've got about 6. 3 or 4 of these ones and 2 of the different type of Vivitage. I used to like take these out sometimes.
Yeah, they're not IR though, are they?
Yeah, it's got IR on that one. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Some of them were IR, some of them weren't.
Yeah, you can take the filter off them anyway by unscrewing the lens easy enough and turn them into full spectrum.
Yeah, I've never done it that way though on these ones. I might give it a go one day if I remember doing it because I've got about 6 of them. 4 one type and 2 another type, so I don't mind if I screw it up because they were kind of cheap. I always had to get those on eBay for about 15 quid each at one time. I thought, well, 15 quid, you can't really gamble for a little camcorder. No. Even the arcade ones, I've seen people use them on paranormal investigations and they swear that they work quite well. Sometimes some people said they're better than normal camcorders. Look, it's more, you feel that they're more better than other camcorders. Depends on what it picks up, I suppose.
Yeah, you depending upon what kind of camera it is, you're dealing with the level of CCD, aren't you? In it, it's the media which it takes on board the image. It's the type of sensor that then converts it into digital visualization on the storage. Yeah. So that's what it's important. What's this? Oh, it's okay side.
See, with normal cameras, I've got several different normal cameras. Like this one here, I did actually get one off, I think eBay Infrared that they already hacked. I'm not sure if that one or not, but I've got several different types of these. But the best camera I have got, which Pete Paranorman, where I used to do stuff down at his house, he had one of these, and he caught some fucking great stuff on his camera, so I had to get one of these. And this is a Sony 8.1 megapixel cyber shot. It's got night shot on. I'm not sure what make it is. What will I do by making fine glass? I've gone and lost me making fine glass now.
Who have we got left in the chat then? I wonder who's left out there. Obviously, we've got Ulrich. There's 10 people watching, so somebody's quiet.
We've got 9 people out there. Got one being a bit of a wally. But yeah, I like this camera. I had to keep buying new. I didn't need to, but I bought like 4 or 5 batteries for this because it is a good camera.
Yeah. Batteries are the bane of all paranormal investigators, aren't they? Always running out.
It takes these batteries. I've not used it, but even when you ain't using it, the battery still wears down and runs out. Don't know why. So I bought I've got about 6 of these batteries. I charge them all up, and and when you're not using them, they just suddenly go dead. Why, I don't know, but I like this one because I caught a lot of stuff on this one in the living room mirror. Stop winning at you. So camera-wise, that's my best camera. I'd say that other one, similar to this, I think that might be the full spectrum one from Infrared. Speakers, I've got a couple of speakers, but they're not all that brilliant. You know, I've got like a little mini amp about that big, which is over there behind the low stuff. So I'm not going to dig out. But I find like, you know, the best bit of equipment, apart from your brain, is like a DVR camera, especially you're doing like residentials or investigations where you're going to be in multiple rooms and you can't keep an eye on multiple rooms. So a DVR camera setup is pretty good.
Yeah.
Do you actually run one yourself, DVR?
Yeah, I've got a couple of DVR systems. I usually take the 8-camera DVR, but a lot of the times I'm only using like 4 cameras on it. It depends upon the location where I'm at, but yeah, I use a DVR. Yeah.
Call much on them?
No, if I'm totally honest with you, Steve, I haven't actually. I've not been massively productive in that department. Just loads of orbs because of the inability for the camera lens to resolve the image. You know.
Yeah.
So not a great deal, no. Asking me about cleansing.
No, I'm just seeing what those idiots were saying. Those trolls that got coming here. No, I won't read in chat. That's why. You know, the moderators deal with them. I can't be asked to see what they're talking about. They've just been dumbasses. Gonna keep getting trolls, whatever. Yeah, I done like a little ghost box session last night. I think it was last night.
How did that go?
I don't know if you was on it or not. Actually, I know Mark Davies was on because I brought him onto the stream. And
I watched for a short while from Cornwall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I was playing, like, testing out some of the ghost boxes that I've hacked. And I told him, like, the 9905, no one knew how to hack it, so I was able to do it myself. And I was playing some of the radios, and he goes, that fucking 9905 is, like, amazing. It's like what he's got in the 9906, you know.
Yeah. Good audio. Got good audio out of them, haven't they?
But, you know, I got rid of one of my bench radios, and I saw another bench radio on eBay, and I spoke to the guy. You know, he wanted a bit too much for it, so I bid him down a little bit, and I've got another bench which came today. Again, I had to bridge it. It's not just like a normal cut. It's like, you know, you've got to cut it and bridge it onto another circuit. So I've got that one working. At first I cut it and I thought, why is it not working? Why not it working? So I got my other one out, and I looked at it because it is practically the same circuit board. I don't know why it's a 2028 and the other one's a 2026. Just a different model number. So it looks practically the same inside as well. So I bought my other one out, and this is a FM, medium wave, long wave, and short wave. I think with it though is when you try doing long wave and short wave, it doesn't actually go onto them frequencies because it still says like long wave, FM or medium wave. I can't remember.
Right, okay.
Let me check. I don't even know what's back.
So not behaving as much as you would like it to then.
Well, no, it's a good radio. Michael had one of the other ones, and he said it's a really bloody good radio. And even Mark said, you know, it don't sound too bad. Not this one, but my other one I was mucking around with because I put about 4 or 5 ghost boxes on there yesterday. And he said, yeah, that 9905 sounds a bit like my one, and it's a really nice radio. I said, well, I've got 2 here. I'm trying to sell one. because what money I make on that, I want to try to get some more radios and build up my ghost box collection.
Mm.
No, it's
Yeah,
not
well, there's a...
doing nothing. You know, I do still use them, and I ain't going to use the same ghost box every single day and every single night. I want to like test them out and see what boxes and everything I get out of them, you know, kind of thing. So, I got myself another Hitachi one as well. Same ones I had like a few years ago. I was able to find another one of those, hack that one. It came through with a broken antenna. It's just like the top knob missing. So I thought, yeah, you know, I'll probably get a new antenna for that sometime. I hacked that one as well. See, the Roberts 9905 I hacked myself. The bench ones I hacked myself. And the Hitachi ones I've hacked myself. Even some of the Sony Digicubes I've hacked myself. No one's done them before. And who is it? Someone on YouTube, Steve Holtley. He does streams with his mate. I think it's Bruce. And they're saying a lot of these ghost boxes ain't available anymore. You know, how can you hack radios that ain't out there anymore? You know, they're so like kind of extinct kind of thing. They're so rare.
The PPL radios, you mean?
Yeah. And I said, well, if you look around, you can buy them.
PLL rather, phase lock loop.
PLL. Because that's what I normally do on, like, when I'm looking on eBay, I'll do like retro radios or PLL radios, or if I know I've got a radio that I know is hackable, I'll put like Roberts, Bench, Sony, Hitachi, Amiga, you know, all those are practically. Yeah. I'm going to send you a screenshot here or something on Facebook in a sec when I find it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they're hackable, but for the price, man, I thought, you know, it's got to be worth giving it a go. I'm going to tell you how much I paid.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained kind of thing.
Yeah. But, you know, he had two available. He had three. He sold one. I thought, for the price, you know, they look old enough. They might be PLL. And if they are hackable, then that means I'm going to have two. Now, if they are, I have found another guy who's selling them around about the same price that I've paid for my one.
Yeah.
And he's got like 8 of them, this other guy. But I'm not saying they are hackable. You know, I've got to try to find. Now, I can't give you the direct link because it's not giving me the bloody direct link for instance. But I'll do a what's name, and I'll try to find one of the other ones. You want to find one? No, that one's gone. The other one's gone. Oh, here we go. Here's one here. See, it doesn't say it's PLL. He says in the actual listing, AM/FM pocket digital radio, battery powered with digital clock and alarm condition is new. Box is open. Item has been tested and dispatched second class raw mail. Well, again, you don't know if they're PLL or if they're hackable or not. But for the price, you know, isn't too bad. And the guy who I bought them from had three. Well, it said 3, but he sold one. And he had 2 left, so I thought I'd buy those ones. You know, it's cheaper than the ones that I've been buying anyway. That one there, if you click on that link, it shows you how much the price is on that one, yeah? But there is another guy out there selling them slightly half the price on that. Now, if I can get when I get my ones, if they are hackable, and the other guy who's got 8 available, I'm going to fucking snap them up.
Thanks, mate. My internet dropped out for a sec. Yeah, I heard you about snapping them up if you can get hold of them. Yeah, definitely.
Because then, like, you know, I ain't going to rip people off like, you know, the other day I was being called a scammer, con man, and all that kind of crap again. If I can get them at a reasonable price, they will be going out at a reasonable price. No, the reason why I put some of mine up a little bit more, because they are bloody hard radios to get. But these ones, they might be hard, but, you just don't know how many might be available. I looked on Amazon for that radio, and there's none on Amazon. This other guy's got several. The one I bought has now sold out. So, if they are hackable, you might as well get them before they fucking go. Because like Mark Davies said the other night, the hackable ones have gone up so much in price. You just can't get them anymore. And it's not so much being greedy in selling them at a price. If you think about it here, if you get a Roberts or one of the ones I just showed you, or a Bench, and it sounds better and clearer than a PSP7, which the PSP7s are still around. How much is a PSP7 now?
It's got to be around 100 quid still, haven't they?
Yes.
90, something like that.
119.99.
Jeez.
Yep. All right. Oh, and there's one there for £84, but that's from Singapore. All right. You don't know if you're going to get it from Singapore. Oh, there's another one here, £84, $4.99 postage. I'm going to screen share that one. I won't screen share certain ones because I don't want people jumping on and trying to get them before I do in case they are hackable. But look, $84.99, yeah, right? You know how bad some of those fucking PSP7s are.
Yeah.
I don't even like my one. I won't throw it away because I paid, around about 65, 70 quid for my one. And that was when they first came out, the person didn't like it. They weren't getting no response on them apparently. And they were so big in the earlier days, everyone was buying them. And they were the original PSP7s. Now, what they've done with the PSP7s, they've kind of detuned them, haven't they?
They have, yeah. The Model 3 is well detuned, yeah.
So I don't know what a model detuned one sounds like. I've not even done a Google or YouTube search on a detuned one because PSP7s I think is a load of shit. Even that S-Box radio, no one likes it, but people are still buying it. Some people are getting responses on them, but some of them ain't.
Yeah, I've had good responses on the S-Box.
Now, would you rather buy a Roberts Ghost Box for £75, £80 or a crappy PSP7?
I'd have both if I could, because I've had brilliant results on a PSP7. But if you had the choice of one, I'd go for the Roberts.
So I'm trying to get Roberts, radios, but every time you find them on eBay, they've been snapped up left, right, and centre. Whether if people are buying them to hack them or just to buy them to use them as a standard radio, because they are, some of them Roberts are really good tunes, really good audio back. I want to try to get the 881 because they're supposed to be a really nice ghost box, but every time I put a bid on, I'm being outbidding, and they are being sold for 60, 70 quid sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a Roberts ghost, well, it wasn't a ghost box, it's just a normal Roberts, which I was looking at, and he wanted 55 quid for it. And I thought, well, time we get that and hack it, you ain't going to make much money on it anyway, because people ain't got the money at the moment to buy bloody ghost boxes.
Yeah, that's the problem, Steve, innit?
So, unless they've got the money, no, I'm not trying to rip people off, Some of them radios I'm not buying cheap. Some of them I can get cheap, like that one I just showed you on Facebook. I just can't seem to get onto the bloody... I know I bought them, but it's not coming up on my YouTube at the moment.
Yeah, it's nice looking, that one you sent me on Facebook, though.
I've put a bid in a Sony PLL ICF M35L, which is 3-band FM, medium wave and long wave. But I don't know if that's hackable. But PLLs, as I say, were the main hackable radios at the time. There's a Robert Sports 988, but that's a DAB. and you can't really hack that radios. What else is there? There's an Amiga DigiWorld 2, which is medium wave, long wave, short wave, FM. It's a radio module 4040, but because it's a PLL, it doesn't mean it's hackable. Like I had one of these, but it wasn't the actual same one. I can screen share that one. This is a TCM one.
All right.
And he wants £40 for that one, yeah?
Yeah.
But my one was a John Lewis one, yeah? Packed the same, and I took mine apart. And I was trying to check the cable. I got my magnifying glass out, and I saw the mute. And I was just about going to cut the mute, and my hand slipped, and I pulled the whole cable off. And the
it's like a nice radio, though, that TCH, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's not like a proper Radio Shack one.
All right, okay.
No, I thought it was, because Radio Shack has got like 9 buttons at the bottom.
Yeah.
When you see 6 there, the Radio Shack had 9. But the features here was practically the same as the Radio Shack. So I got a one, like, I bought the Radio Shack one, but it wasn't hackable because it was more of a updated technology inside it. It's like with some of the Sangiums, you can't hack the Sangiums anymore because it's newer technology. You used to either bend the pin or cut the ribbon.
Yeah.
With Sangiums now, you can't do that.
A lot of stuff anyway now is dabbing it.
Yeah. Car boot fair, mate. I saw a TCM one and he wanted like 15 quid for it. Oh, no, I don't know if it's like hackable. I did buy another TCM one, which I thought might be hackable, but it's not. I can't remember what done. I ain't gonna dig it out because I can't remember what done with it, and I don't think. But I'll probably do a stream tomorrow night or Monday with the radios.
Yeah, you're a Spirit Box session, are you?
Well, it'd be like showing the radios I've got.
Okay.
I'm not going to say hack them, but I'm going to say they're easy to hack or, like hard to hack. I'm going to show some radios which I thought were hackable, but I've not been able to hack them. I've got like a Bush radio, couple of Bush little portable radios which I thought were hackable, but they're not. Like this one here, the Tronic one, I thought might be hackable. So I think that is a PLL, but it's only got like a 5 cable ribbon, and it doesn't mark anything on there to say what connector each ribbon goes to.
Yeah. So you're playing a guessing game by snipping stuff then?
Well, I've not even snipped none. I thought, well, I'm not going to keep damaging radios. So, maybe someone sees this on my channel one day and say, oh, I've got one of those, I've made it into a ghost box. Maybe they might share the information, kind of thing. With the Roberts, I'm not going to show how it's hacked, but I'm going to say, yeah, mute, that's it, done. So I will give out details on how to, like hack some ghost boxes, but not every single one because it's just too much time consuming. So when I do like a session, I say, well, like, this is a Murphy Richards. I've hacked it. It's now into a ghost box. I can't remember how I hacked it, but I've got a switch on now. It does have a fast tuning. So when if you were to get one of these, all you have to do is press that in, and it scans constantly without stopping that station.
Yeah, I prefer a fast sweep on a radio personally. But
what I done with this one, I put a switch on and I connected it to the fast switch. Instead of holding my finger on it constantly, the switch was doing it for me.
Yeah.
Now, you can't, I cut the mute and it didn't work. So the only way I found that was by the fast tuning. I just connected a couple of cables and a switch to the fast tuning. So instead of me holding it in all the time, the switch does it for me. So I can explain that. And some people might think, oh, you know, and if they hear the sound of it and they like it, they might think, oh, well, you know, I'll have a look on eBay, see if they've got any. And if, you know, he's told me how to do it. It's got a fast scanning. All he's done is connected two cables onto the actual fast scanning push button.
Yeah.
And they can do it themselves, you know, kind of thing. So it's not so much buying them and selling them. I'm actually buying them to hack them, to let people know how they can be hacked. But the ones I do hack, I need to sell to buy more radios to see if they can be hackable and pass out the information on those ones as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
No, because not many people will go out and buy radios and sit there trying to figure out, oh, how can I make that into a ghost box? Because no one really knows how they can make it into a ghost box until they try. And when you're doing it, you're taking that risk, that chance in like, well, you know, you could turn around and say, you know, I cut that wire and blow the ghost box, but you could cut that wire and blow the whole fucking radio up.
Yeah, it's getting the radios while you can and while you see them now, isn't it? Because like you say, they're becoming a lot more rarer.
Yeah.
And the prices of them are going up because of that.
I think Mark said, like, you know, what since he done his radio ghost box and he shared the video out, you know, he got quite a few hits on that video.
Mhm.
And he noticed that the radios were going out quite a lot. You know, people were buying them up quite a lot. I don't know. Let me see. Cornwall. What's his channel? Cornwall.
Is it Ghost Adventures of Cornwall? I forget now. Ghost Hunters of Cornwall. Sorry, Mark, if you're listening.
The Ghost Adventures of Cornwall.
Yeah, there you go. Ghost Adventures of Cornwall.
Live. He's live in Oldham Woods.
What now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Owlman Woods or whatever. I'm going to shoot off in a minute because it's gone 1 o'clock. Where's his radio? Hang on, let me check. How to make your own ghost box, Roberts 9906, simply the best. You know, he had 686 views on it, and he'd done that on the 10th of January. And like I say, he came on last night and he said, Steve, you know, they are the old ghost boxes. You know, no one can get them to hack them. And when they are available, people buy them and put like stupid money on. Like, I sent a ghost box out there, and you know, people were asking 200 quid for one. And that
Hello,
was
Michael again.
I think that was like a Roberts. I told you Michael will be back.
Yeah, he's loves it, doesn't he, coming in and out.
Mark did an interview on Talk Radio today. That was uploaded 10 hours ago. That's the second interview he's had with Talk Radio. Yeah, but as I say, it doesn't matter what ghost box you're going to, you know, sell. If people's going to want it and they've got the money to buy it, they're going to buy it. You know, you're not forcing anyone to buy it, are you?
No.
No, it's up to them. You know, and if people think you're ripping people off, no, you can buy a ghost box for £5, or well, a radio for £5 and hack it and stick like 30 quid on it. No, and sell it for 35. I know you're making a bit of a profit on it, probably triple your profit, but again, it's the time, the wear and tear of your equipment. You know, your soldering iron, if you need to solder it, you know, undoing it, the time you're doing it, you know, your concentration, listing on eBay, your eBay fees, your PayPal fees, and all that kind of stuff. You know, you're not making a huge amount of money. And they say, like, with, like, you know, the Pets B7, there was one on there, apart from that £84 one, and I will prove it. The guy wanted 119 quid for it.
Wow.
119.99. No, I don't know if you get the little speaker with it, but no, it's apparently new in box, and he sold 31 already. He's only got 4 left. But these S boxes, 99 quid. I wouldn't even pay 50 quid for it, because the amount of reviews I've seen and the amount of people have said they are totally shit.
The first couple of ones are really. They're just really like low, very slow sweep. But the more up to date ones where you got the faster sweep and that, they're good, and the recording function and it's good. They've just, a lot of people have got the Mark 1s and the Mark 2s and they're not that good. The sweep is just too slow.
You know, there's that paranormal music box I was talking about. Sensor.
Yeah.
Connected to a music mechanism run by a pulley. Now let's see if I can find a video on it. Because I knew, I don't think there is going to be one out. Because they've not been out that long. Let's see if that's got one. Keep the sound off for now. Don't think that's it, is it? No. So I've not even seen no video on that. Oh, here's one. Let's see what he does. So what he's doing, right? This is how I see how that's made. You've got a box, you've got your music mechanism, and you've got like a standard motor connected to a pulley, right? Which is on the arm. So it's actually pulling the actual arm of the music box to set the music box off. But what's setting that off is a sensor.
Yeah.
Right, which you can see there. So the sensor is somehow connected to the pulley, which you can't see on there, but you can see here. That's the motor, right? So the sensor, in some way, is actually activating the motor to make the motor turn around, to turn the pulley, to turn the actual music box. It seems.
Yeah, I've seen that. Sorry, Steve. I've seen them coming up on Instagram. I forget what they're calling them, but keep what they're called, Steve. What's the name of that?
It's called Paranormal Music Box, PBM.
Fair enough, yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to be funny, right? If they sell them, good luck to them, yeah? But to build that, I reckon probably wouldn't cost you more than 50 quid. All right? And if I was to build one, I wouldn't sell it for more than 100. You know, I wouldn't mind doubling my money back so I can build more maybe later if I was to do that, yeah?
And what are they going out at, Steve? What are they going out at again?
179.
Okay.
179 for that one.
Excuse me.
And Michael, you're watching, I wouldn't even fucking buy it, man, because you can't guarantee it's going to sell it off. So 179, 179, 179. And I did see one which is probably sold for 199. Now, all that's got is a switch, a sensor, an LED light, the motor that turns the toggle around to turn the music box. Now, the music box you can get for about 10, 15 quid, right? Let's say tenner, because I have actually bought some myself and repaired a couple of proper music boxes, which I have in the living room, because the music box just broke down. So I thought, well, you know, it's a nice box. Let's see how much those music mechanisms are. And I was able to pick the one which I needed, and it cost me £10, right? The LED, £1, £2, right? The switch, well, I've got several of these switches, so I wouldn't need to pay for a switch, but I paid like a £5 for 5 of them, I think they were, because they were big switches, yeah?
Yeah.
These sensors, I'm going to show you the sensor I've got in a minute, yeah? But the box, you know, depending on where you can get that particular box from, I say about maximum for the box £15. So you're talking 15, 25, say about 30, £35 in all, yeah? Now, I'm not talking about, you know, the shipping cost as well, because, you know, you're going to have to pay for shipping costs for all the bits and pieces. But those sensors, I think, are these ones. And I've got like 20 of these.
Yeah, and basically a set of chimes, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Now, I like to know how they was able to connect that to a motor. Now, if that is the way they've done it, yeah, I could probably, if I decide to sit down and try to work it out and figure it out myself, I'm pretty sure I would probably be able to get a motor connected to this and for the sensor to set it off. Then what I've got to do is find a way to get the motor connected to a pulley. So you're talking about the sensor, the box, the switch, the music box mechanism, and the pulley. All right, so you're talking about 5 or 6 things, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. If they had to build it, they're out there. Those bits are out there to buy them. And you'll probably be spending about maximum £35, £40 to build one. I know you've got to sit there and put it all together and make sure it all works, test it out and everything, yeah. And again, you know, your postal cost, let's say another for £15 postage.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Say £60 all in all. No, and you're not worried about, you know, the wear and tear of like your soldering iron, the soldering flux. You know, you can stick a couple of quid on top of that, so say £65. Now, I can understand, you know, wanting to make a bit of profit, doubling your money back, make it up to like 120. But when you're asking triple the money, I think that's a bit, you know, cheeky. But people might, you know, think it's so amazing that they probably might be willing to spend £300 on it. If you think about it, Huff's portal box. You know, look how much people were paying for that. £2,000, and it's just a radio with, you know, a few fucking like pedals and an amplifier. And
that is all it is.
Flashy lights.
That is all it is, yeah.
That didn't cost him £2,000 to build. It probably cost him maybe a couple of $100.
Yeah, tops.
Yeah, tops. Now, it's good to help the paranormal way out, but if you want to help the paranormal way out, you try to keep your prices down, because not a lot of people have got the money to buy that equipment. Would you pay £200 for that?
Personally, I don't think so.
What the most you'd be willing to buy one for, if you wanted one, and you thought, well, that looks great?
I don't know, about one-ish tops. Don't really see it. I think not that I'd want one. I think they're a little bit gimmicky. I mean, they're a bit, I don't know. It's just a trigger object in a way, isn't it?
Yeah. And you could probably build other things, you know, with that equipment. Like, you know, let's say I've got probably about, well, I'll say a rough guess, about 15, 20 of these sensors. So say when I was building stuff here, I had different ideas, and I thought, well, what can I do? And like, I thought sensors. And like, I looked on eBay, And you used to get like 5 of these sensors for like a £5. So I thought, you know what, if I do come up with an idea, you know, the price do fluctuate. They might go up more money, which they do on eBay. So I thought, as they're cheap enough, I'll buy like four packets, 20 of them. It's like with a touch sensor. That's 2 kits. Not 1 kit, that's 2 kits. And I bought like 10, 15 of those kits of each, hoping I could probably work something out and build something. And it's, you know, as I said, like, you know, ion detector touch sensor. Now, the thing is, you said, right, when you had the thunderstorm, it lit up, yeah?
It did.
Right. How do you know it's the thunderstorm that didn't light it up and it weren't a spirit touching the actual sensor bit?
Because I don't believe in coincidence.
Oh, there we go.
I don't believe in coincidence. There was a flash of lightning and it went off at exactly the same time. So there's more evidence to prove that the lightning set it off than a spirit wandering around in my bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning because it's bored.
Yeah.
And there's with there being no activity, I'm in a house where there isn't any activity for the most part. It was the thunderstorm, the static burst, maybe the plasma bolt coming to the ground from the lightning strike.
Electric could be.
What are you laughing at?
No, I was looking at where Uric said scale electric motor. Scale electric motor. Oh yeah, it could be a scale electric motor.
Could be actually, couldn't it?
And had a music box like that one playing international.
Yeah, it's just chimes, isn't it? Clockwork chimes.
He uses a circuit which, hey, let's go back onto that one. Hold on. He uses a circuit which gives off some tick-tack-tick sound, and it functions well, in fact, like a shaman drum beating. Some hand-built spirit boxes got adjustable sweep speeds and built-in echo speakers too. Yeah, I've seen a couple, but they're actually like handmade and not like, you know, you can't get a radio with echo features in it. I've never seen a normal radio from a manufacturer that has echo in it. The echo is actually put in by, you know, the person who actually builds it. Yeah, as I say, I can understand like the spirit not coming fucking like coming into your bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning saying, "Hang a minute, what does that do?"
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then, like mucking around with it. If you got a lightning strike and next to the lightning that's got, you know, set it off, that's amazing because then we know it works. But it'd be crazy if there wasn't a lightning strike and it got touched and it went off. Then, you know, how would you explain how it got set off if there wasn't a lightning storm?
That's when it becomes interesting, isn't it? When you're using devices and equipment, when there isn't really an explanation for why things are coming off.
Yeah. So, like you said once before, when I sold you that DC box, I can't guarantee it's going to work. It's not working for me. I've had it 2 weeks, 2 of them. It's not working. You said, let me have one. Let me test it out. Day you got it, it fucking went crazy for you. And I said,
absolutely.
How did you get it to work? I just explained to the spirits how to do it. Maybe you should do the same. So that's what I've done with my one. And yeah, my one will start going off. So I think what happens is that when you're talking to spirits and you're explaining how to do it, they are very intelligent spirits, yeah. And if you've got a new spirit that wants to come through and communicate and doesn't know how to operate it, instead of you keep repeating yourself, that spirit who's used it gives the information to the other spirit how to use it. It's like, you know, with a ghost box, I reckon. I know it may seem a bit weird, but how do spirits know how to use a ghost box unless they get told by another spirit how to use it, how to manipulate it? Because we don't always turn around and say, you know, manipulate the radio station, use the white noise and the static. We don't say that all the time, do we? we just open the ghost box and say, anyone here, come through and talk to us. But when you're explaining that you can use the white noise, the static, and the broken up radio, and the spirit understands what you're saying and is able to manipulate the radio station, come through and talk to us on the ghost box, that spirit can then pass that information on to the spirit world, I suppose, and pass that information on. And you don't just get the first spirit coming through, you get several spirits coming through because they want to know how to manipulate it and communicate with you.
That's the thing, it isn't massively clear cut as people think, is it?
No.
Right, I'm going to scoot off because it's getting late.
All right, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, you take it easy, fella.
Yeah. I'll be
Bye-bye.
probably doing a ghost box tonight or tomorrow night. You know, not an actual ghost box session, but showing some of the ghost boxes I've got and explaining how they can hack them if they wish to hack them.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of stuff. I've got some stuff up on my Southwest Ghost-UK.co.uk website where there is a section where people can buy radios and hack them. But I am actually going to give them a little bit of warning. Some of the radios are not available, like the Sangium DT 200 and 250 are not what they used to be. They aren't hackable like they used to once be able to be done. So that's what my next stream is going to be about.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
So
yeah, I'll keep an eye open anyway then, Steve.
Yeah, it might be tonight, it might be tomorrow. It depends on how I feel tomorrow when I come home, if I go to car booty again.
No worries. If I see you knocking about, I'll jump on if I'm not doing anything anyway, fella.
Yeah, we still need to do a chat about our murder mystery and unsolved cases for some point.
I know, mate. I've just been that wrapped up and busy with other stuff. But yeah, I know we do, yeah. Still up for it when we get the chance.
All right. Cheers.
All right, see you later. Bye, buddy. Bye.
So yeah, that's what I'm planning to do next is talk about some of the ghost boxes and then maybe do another stream regarding cameras and camcorders. No, I'm not going to sit here and take a camera apart and try to, modify it into full spectrum because I don't want to be screwing up some of my cameras like I have done in the past. Like that one here. I can't remember if it's already modified or not. Actually, when I bought it, it cost me like nearly 100, well, just over 100 quid for this one. Actually, yeah, it was. Actually, no, it's not been modified. It's got night vision on it, but you can actually take the filter out to make it like full spectrum. And I do want to do it on this one because I paid a good amount of money for this one. Actually, it's over 100 quid. But I did see another one on eBay. Cheaper, and I bought it and I took it apart and I completely knacked it right up, and I think the other one cost me like 50 quid. So I'm not going to be taking cameras apart, but I will give out some information on how good I think the camera is. I just give my input on certain things, like if I think the camera's shit, then that's going to be my honest opinion. But this one, the only reason I bought this because they Peter, Paranormal Man, had one, and he took a picture of his dad's hallway after I'd done like my own little session in his dad's bedroom. I came out and he was standing in the hallway taking pictures, and he caught an image of an old hag in the hallway, and you can see that she was half in the door and half out the door, but the door was actually closed, so as if she was like transparent in between the door, which was kind of crazy. And I do have that photo somewhere on my Facebook. So I'm going to do a stream on cameras and a stream on camcorders, and maybe another night do a stream on audio recorders. I'll see how it goes. And then, I'm going to get Chris on one night to do a chat with him, live stream with Chris. I'm going to try to get Mark back on here one night and see how it goes. Right, okay, I'm going to go, guys. I'm trying to get some sleep. I'm hoping that it's not going to be a thundery storm tomorrow. When we get out to another car booty, have a walk around. I'm not saying I'm going to buy anything because I ain't got much money in my bloody bank account anyway. Oh, hang on, I've got a copyright infringement. Why have I got copyright? How can I have a copyright infringement on the Georgian house, which was on 2014? Copyright content Lost Souls 4 claimed by Hawk for a third party. Well, I had a bolt 6 years ago. 6 years ago. And I'll get a copyright. This is not a copyright strike. This claim does not affect your account status. It doesn't matter. Why give me a copyright after fucking like 6 years? That's bullshit, man. Now I'll go to a few details. I can't do it on this one. Bloody phone keeps locking up on studio. But yeah, copyright strike. It's not copyright strike, but copyright infringement. That's bullshit, man. And that's like part 1 of part 4. So what am I going to get copyrights on part 3, 2, and 4 next? No, I don't know. Oh yeah, the reason I've not put much up on the members section at the moment, because I've only got 2 people still subscribed to me on the member section. I will be doing some stuff offline and uploading a few more bits later. But until I get a few more people interested in coming and joining as a member, I won't be too much, because I don't think they've watched all the videos on there. Because I have been checking. Some of the videos still hasn't had a view on there, which I've uploaded in the member section. And I think there's at least 60 or 70 videos on the member section at the moment. I was going to upload more, but I can't remember what hard drive it was on, and I won't be surprised if I've gone and used the hard drive in my DVR and formatted it. But there is other hard drives I think I can remember some stuff which may have not been uploaded. And I will probably do some offline streams as well, put them like unlisted, and then put them as members section only later. Also, if you go to my main YouTube, under the main page, it's got the Patreon. I've reactivated my Patreon, and I will be putting some stuff in the Patreon as well. But the Patreon stuff that I will put on there will actually be in the member section as well. So Patreon and members will be kind of combined together. And there are different like tariffs in there. Can't remember what ones there are, but there's like 4 or 5 different tariffs. I think the most expensive one is probably about a £30 tariff. I can't remember what the tariffs got in there. You know, I just like clicked on Patreon because I did a Patreon for someone the other day, and he said like sign up, and I thought, hang on, I've got a Patreon on my ghost hunting one, on my Haunted Experience Southwest Ghost. So I started putting in the username, and it picked up my username and password, clicked on it, and it said I'd been active for like a year when I last had my 2 Patreons, which no longer are Patreons. So I thought, you know what, I'll activate that again and start uploading some stuff on there as well. Even put some of the member stuff on there, from the member section onto the Patreon, and hopefully I might get some response on the Patreon. But we'll see how it goes. So, I don't want to be doing too much because it is a bit, tiring and like, exhausting, putting stuff up here, there and everywhere. Patreon members. I post my stuff on Twitter sometimes as well, Facebook. But Twitter and Facebook, you don't get charged. That's because it's the free stuff. But anything I make on Patreon and join member section goes back into the paranormal stuff. I buy like the ghost boxes to hack. I buy equipment to build and show you how it's been built. There will probably be 1 or 2 videos later, which I will put on my ITC one where I'm actually building something and doing like a step-to-step build so you can see how it's done. It might be in one video or it might be in several parts, depends on what I'm building at the time. And then it gives you an idea on what you need and build it yourself. So that's some of the things I'm planning to do. I will be doing some more doll sessions overnight as well soon. When I'm sleeping. Last night I had one of the new creepier dolls. The eyes are creepy. Very old doll, probably early 1900s. Quite a big doll actually, about that big. The head's kind of like about that big. Half the size of my head, I suppose. The eyes kind of like a bit freaky. Angela came on and done some time stamping on it. So if you didn't watch yesterday's video, although it's 5 hours, you can watch like, some of it and check out the timestamps. Because I was getting like K2 hits and DC box hits. The only thing I didn't get was hits on the new EMF device that I built. So I actually found a video on how to make one of those EMF devices similar to the one I did build. But when I tried building it, I did parts and everything here, but for some reason it wouldn't work for me. And I bought different circuit boards so I could do it the way the video showed me, but it still wouldn't work. I think it might be because the resistors, what I was using, weren't the right resistors and the capacitor wasn't the right capacitor. So I'm going to check that video out again, see what capacitors and resistors it was using, and order those. I think the LC was a 387, I think, which I've got anyway. But I'm going to try to make sure I've got all the parts to build that, because then if I can probably put it into one of these little boxes and it'll be a good little EMF device. So, but the thing is, I won't be doing it this month, I don't think. And with these, which I bought from the Car Booty, which I thought I would be able to make into EMF devices, it's not going to be able to be done. But I'm going to try to find a way of modifying this and doing something else with it. Because you've got a pull switch on it, yeah, the decibel's so high, it fucking deafens you. It makes you kind of eardrums like vibrate. It feels like your head's being like vibrated. It's really high. So instead of like leaving them and wasting them or giving them a choke, I'm going to try to find a way of using those. Even if it's just a box, I'm going to try to do something with the box. And if I can make those EMF devices similar to that, I could use those boxes and put the circuitry in there. Or I'll probably put any kind of modification I can do into one of these boxes, but I don't think it'll fit in that one. It'll probably be a box about that size, which I think I've got. So yeah, I'm planning to do a few bits and pieces anyway, maybe later. $150. Well, 80, I think £89. So that's like $100 in American. But anyway, I'm gonna go. Wait, out. On out. Out. I ain't even said, well, I gave her biscuits, but I didn't give her no wet food. Maybe that's why she's moaning she wants some wet food, but sod that, her crap stinks when she starts pooing. So she can go with that wet food tonight. But yeah, I'm going to go. I might be on tonight. If not, it'll be Monday night. And I'll be hopefully doing a stream like I've done tonight, but either with cameras and camcorders, or it might be ghost block stuff. Out! So, have a good rest of the weekend. What's left of it? Sunday now. I'm off to bed, and I'll catch you all later. Cheers. Good night.